doing today? A little Sunday night action. I figured I'd hop on here instead of talk. What's up, Thrift Nest? Figure I'd hop on here instead of TikTok and do a little live. Let me know if the mic turns on too. Sometimes it doesn't when I hook it up during a live, so let me know if it's good to go. What's up, Juliet? If you haven't been one to these, it's like a seller support live. I also have to do some shipping, so I figured I hang out with you guys while I do some shipping. What's up, Lizette? Hang out with you guys while I do some shipping, answer some questions. Anything's open. You can ask me questions about any platform. I know you're not really supposed to talk about other platforms here, but I'll answer pretty much anything while I am shipping out yesterday's orders. I've seen a lot of posts and comments about whatnot new shipping. So is reselling too saturated to start? Oh no, there's tons of space in this market. Um, what was I saying? Oh, I've seen tons of questions on the whatnot shipping. So as I'm shipping, I'll help answer some questions about how we set up our show to be run. I know a lot of people are asking that, like, how did you set up your shipping settings to like not have overages? And I'll talk about that a little bit during this live while we're hanging out because there's a lot of people that have a ton of questions because there's a lot of people that were so used to flat rate shipping. You didn't really have to measure or weigh anything. You just threw it in a box, slapped a label on it, shipped it out. You were good to go. And now we're back to how I used to run shows like way back in the day. Like 4 or 5 months ago, I used to do all regular weights for all my shows from beginning till now. It's been all regular weights. And then a couple months ago, I adopted the flat rate shipping because it was a smart way of just throwing stuff in and shipping it out. But now we're back to the old ways. So, what's up, everybody? So, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. You're just about to go live. I thought I saw that you go live tomorrow. I looked at your show for tomorrow. It said tomorrow at 10:38 p.m. or something like that. Yeah, everybody go hang out with Amy. I'll send people your way while I'm on live. Um, when you list on Nifty, are your prices the same? Yeah, I keep them the same. Like if you go to my shop right now, my prices are the same across all platforms. So if you leave here and go somewhere else, you're going to see the same prices. I'm here kind of awake. That's good. That's good, Dora. Dora's half awake right now. Oh, I'm just here, LG. LG, you had shows today too. It said that you had a show. It said you had 2 shows today. I saw like the park sweaters in the background. I was like, oh, I'll come in there and watch what LG's doing tonight while I ship. And then it also said you had this show at the same exact time. I was like, what is LG doing? She's got 2 shows at the two times. No, I want to listen. Well, you got to go do your show, girl. What's up, Ginger Marvin? Gotta go do your show. Go do it. I'll send some people your way as I'm hanging out in here. I thought that you had yours for tomorrow. I swore that yours was tomorrow, Amy D. I literally saw it right before this live. Yes, I will get the shipping. I promise. I promise I'll get some work done. I promise. I promise. I promise. Just pin them for bookmarks. I'm technically not supposed to use my right arm. Ouch! What happened, LG? You got a little injury there? Just pin them up. That's weird. I swear I saw yours and Amy D. Maybe the layout's different on the front. I'm seeing people shows that aren't supposed to be. I don't know what's going on. Do you sell anything other than clothing? I commented in your shipping. Yeah, I do. Well, I sell shoes. I sell shoes and clothing. That's pretty much all I sell is shoes and clothing. So if you count shoes different than clothing, I guess it's all pretty much clothing, right? You wear it all. Then today, at like 3 different times. I know I saw, well, yours said for tomorrow. So have you seen a difference with your listing challenge, getting more sales? Oh yeah, 100%. So if you followed along with the listing challenge, we did 500 new listings in the month of July. And if you remember I haven't condensed inventory and you can't see it right now because all the racks are over there for all the clothing we sold yesterday, but the bottom of the rack still wasn't full, even though we only had like maybe 150 spots available for new listings to go up. And that's because as we listed, we sold, we condensed again, and then we kept listing and we still haven't filled it out. So we only have, let me see really quick. I really don't know how many listings we have active right now. Let me check. I think it's somewhere between 1,100 or 1,200 listings. But we started that listing challenge out with just under 1,000. I think it was like 998. And right now I have, give me a second. I only have 1131. So I only gained 131 listings, even though I listed 500 items. And that's because we've been selling almost the same amount as we've been listing. We've obviously listed a little bit more than we've sold. But the good thing is I got a whole bunch of listings up. I got an extra 100 listings and now I can kind of chill a little bit this month. We're going to be focusing more on whatnot shows because the kids are going back to school. So we're going to go crazy with whatnot shows, which allows us to like settle down on the listing for a little bit, but still see consistent sales. And then probably next month, we'll do probably another listing challenge right before it gets like super busy. Got all of them clothes to ship out. I got lots of shipping to do. I want to say I love New Women's Free People and throw things. Nice. I got a consigner that brings it in. We've been trying that out because there are some that are hit or miss. The style, I don't really know what styles are like in. I don't follow that. So like when I see Anthro and Fury people, I know the dresses, like the boho style dresses are always in, but there's other pieces we're trying. But the good thing is that consignor gets their stuff so cheap that they don't care what we sell it for. They really don't even care. They're just like, sell it and I don't care what you get for it. So we'll be bringing a lot more of that stuff in and kind of testing it out and see what you guys like. No, I've never heard of that one. East K, I've never heard of that. Got some doctor appointment. Is it like, ooh, LG, is it like you're losing feeling in it or you just can't move it? Do you use eBay as your original post before you duplicate to other markets? I create my entire listing inside Nifty. So I take my photos, I create my listing in Nifty, and then I cross post it at one singular time. So I'm not creating it anymore in eBay. I'm creating it in Nifty and then I cross post everywhere. So it immediately goes to Whatnot the same time it goes to eBay. Oh yeah, there's not a correlation. I feel like if you just have more stuff available, you're gonna have more sales. Like if you walk into a Walmart and it's half full and you go down the street to the next Walmart and it's completely filled, you're gonna have more chances of finding the item you're looking for in the one that's filled. So that's why you get more sales. I don't know if there's like an algorithm or anything like that. Doing Star Wars shows recently, have the highest shipping adjustment of 23. Oh, I saw your comment on that. Yeah, so shipping. Let me just talk a little bit about how we set up shipping because this is how we used to do it for years before the flat rate stuff. I didn't know about flat rate shows until like 3 months ago. Like Bearded like reached out to me, Bearded Thrifter, and he's like, "Why the hell aren't you doing flat rate shows?" I was like, "What are flat rate shows?" And he's like, "You charge the buyer a flat rate and you can fit as much as you want into a box." And at first I was like, "That little tiny square, that box is going to fit all that I need." And he's like, "Try it." So I tried it and it was great because I didn't have to weigh or measure anything. As long as it fit in that flat rate box, I was good. If I had to upgrade the label, I usually upgraded to a priority or it went ground advantage depending on the weights. And it was golden. But we used to do this before for years, and we never had a buyer complain about the way that we're doing shipping now. And that's the way that most of you are probably going to adjust your shipping. So we just did a show. All those items sold, those 362 items. I've already packed some up. They're down there. 362 items. All I did was set my shipping to 11 ounces. Couple things. If you have an 11-ounce shipping rate and your item weighs 15 ounces, you can adjust your label from 11 to 15 ounces for free. It doesn't cost you anything as a seller. It doesn't cost you a label adjustment. That's number one. Number two, if somebody buys 2 items from you and it's a pound and you adjust it from 1 pound to 5 pounds, doesn't cost you a label adjustment. So anything between 1 to 5 pounds, you're good to go. You can just adjust as you go and then you throw it into the poly bag, or if you sell on Poshmark and get the Ground Advantage boxes, but you're safe. The only time you have issues if somebody buys more than 5 pounds worth of stuff from you and you charge them like 4.5. But remember, you have 5 label adjustments per week. So just average your weights out. Everything we sold was like shirts and t-shirts, women's like leggings and stuff. We just set everything to 11 ounces. Sure, I had some jackets back there that weighed 2 pounds. But my thing is, if somebody buys a jacket, I'm just hoping they buy one other thing. Then they're between that 1 to 5 pound ratio, and then I can adjust their weights up to whatever they bought, up to 5 pounds, and it doesn't cost me anything. So I think a lot of people are freaking out about this new change because they're not able to just throw stuff in a flat rate and just forget about it. But to be honest, it's almost the same thing. Whatnot shipping is great because you can just adjust as you go. The only issue you have is if you don't charge the buyer 5 pounds worth of shipping and your item is over 5 pounds. Anything over 5 pounds, if you undercharge them, then you are going to have to eat that cost. But remember, you got 5 label adjustments per week. So that's my little spiel on that. I think a lot of people are freaking out because they can't use flat rate anymore. Also, the max shipping. Let me show you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna show you stats from a 362 item sold show. I knew this was gonna happen too. I was waiting for a show like this. I know there's lots of questions in here. I'm gonna get to you guys. 362 items sold. The only people that bought more than 5 pounds worth of items are people that bought 7 items or more because everything is 11 ounces. So as we scroll through here, you're gonna see there's one. Look at all these buyers right here. Only bought 1, 4, 4, 3. There's a 7, so they're under 5 pounds. I can adjust their labels up to 5 pounds. I know they bought some lighter weight stuff, so we're good. Look, all these people on this front page of all these shoppers, there's only one person that bought over 5 pounds worth of stuff that were charged accordingly to the stuff they bought. So they paid a little extra, but not that much extra. I could go in and see exactly what they paid, but I don't want to go too much into their details. All right, there's another one right there. So there's a 10. There's a 7, so they're under 5. Remember, I charged 11 ounces for all this stuff. There's Not many people that bought. There's another one right there. That's 3, 4, 4 people. 5, 6. I had 6. I think I said 7 on my post today. I actually overestimate. I only had 6 people that were charged extra on a 362 item show. Everybody else got actually less shipping than they did a week ago when everything was $9.21, because those other people were charged $7.75 max, which means I gave a better deal to my customer. The only thing is they're going to get their item like a day later than they usually do because it's going ground advantage. So everybody who's freaking out, who sells like 50 items in their show, unless you're selling almost all those items to one singular person, this new change really won't matter. It's not gonna kill you. You just gotta sit back and think instead of just freak out. Tell me about challenge. Oh, go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Every day this year, I'm showing what sells for the entire year. And I put out a video every single day. So I just put out a video like 6 hours ago showing what sold yesterday. I went over the show that we had yesterday here on Whatnot. And then I also sell on other platforms and I talk about that. So if you're not following me on any of those socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, I put out a video every single day. Having ship everything in bags now instead of flat rate. Yeah. So I already shipped a lot of my stuff in bags. Anything that was under a pound, I pretty much always use these because it automatically went ground advantage. Now I'm using these. I also get the free ground advantage poly bags from Posh. So if you have a Posh account, you can order the ground advantage bags. I use those very rarely. So this is everything I shipped out already. I think I shipped out, I want to say like 20-ish orders. I used all the bags and I used one ground advantage box. Those cost like nothing, by the way. If you order those in bulk, those bags cost like pennies. They're very, very, very cheap. So I know we're not getting free supplies anymore. You can't use the priority mail bags for your orders, but I mean, we're talking about like 5 cents, 10 cents. If you order them in bulk, you get a better deal. I'm probably actually going to order like 1,000 of them later this week. LG, what's up with your arm? I missed your comment if you told me. I'm wondering if it's a disc or something, because I have issues with my arm too. I do. I promote at 9%. Golden. I'm way behind. Nifty, no. Nifty is the cheapest one is 40, I believe. I think it's 40. The most expensive is 90, but the only reason you get the 90 is if you have over 1,500 items in your store and you get the bundle plan. Oh, it's your rib. Oh, got you. I was thinking it was something with your disc. I got you. I read your comment. Hopefully you get better. What am I doing here? Ethan, I don't know what you're doing here. Ethan, you should be selling here, but you're Ethan. That's what you are. 5 ships. Didn't think I was going one person buy them all. I didn't put max on them. Got you. Just charge adequate shipping. You can always adjust your shipping too. As you're running a show, let's say you have everything set to 11 ounces and you go to run a jacket that weighs 2 pounds. You just go into your listing during the show, adjust it to 2 pounds, and then run that listing, and it's going to keep your number going if you do random pulls. So for whatever reason, if you have mostly 15-ounce items and then you have one item in your show that weighs 3 pounds, just go in right before you run that item and say, hey guys, look, I'm going to adjust the weight on this. This is a pair of boots. These weigh more than 15 ounces. I got to charge you 3 pounds. So just in case you are already close to that 5-pound shipping, just check the bottom of the screen before you bid and check your shipping prices. And then you set it up and then you run the item. And then you've done everything to let that buyer know that, you had to up the rates. So, I haven't seen that right. I haven't seen the adjustments are going away. I don't think they'll take the adjustments away. That'd be really, yeah. Either way, if they do take the adjustments away, I think on this show, I might use 1 or 2 adjustments on a 362 item show. So if they did take the adjustments away, sure, it's going to hurt a little bit, but you just have to adjust. And again, if it gets too bad, then I'm going to do the same thing I just said is during the show, when I run a jacket or a pair of jeans, I'm just going to tell everybody, hey, Kayla, go change the weights for me really quick. And I'll just tell the audience, hey, I'm changing the weight on this. Be careful if you've already bought a couple things, adjust the weights, and then we should be good to go. Yeah, they're going to be $7.75. I don't know if I don't know what the price change is between 11 to 15 ounces, but you can adjust your labels from 11 to 15 ounces. I actually just did it earlier today just to check before I said this. I adjusted a jacket. It was 15 ounces. I ran it at 11 ounces. I adjusted the weight and it didn't cost me a label adjustment. Instead of using them for buyers, you think it's, It could be Ginger. Yeah, I see what you're saying, like the lower end ones. But then again, if it gets too bad, then what I'll do is I'll just adjust during the show. So like if I get too many people buying 11-ounce items and they're buying a pair of jeans and they only buy one pair of jeans, typically what happens is when somebody buys a jacket, they usually always buy something else. It always happens. Like it's very rare that I have like one 2-pound item that I ran 11 ounces. As long as they buy two items and they're over a pound, then I can adjust it to that 5-pound rate, anywhere between that 5 pounds, and it doesn't cost me a label adjustment. I don't think a lot of people know that. Between 1 and 5 pounds, if you adjust your weights, you are not charged a label adjustment. Same thing if you're adjusting from 11 to 15 ounces, you're not charging a label adjustment. Yeah, $12.99 is for flat rate right now. So if you're, I think it's still 12. I haven't used a flat rate show, so I don't. I think it's from what I read, flat rates are now $12.99 is what they charge the customer. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, so if you're charging your customer $12.99 just because you don't want to weigh and measure your items, I feel like if you just go to the Ground Advantage, you're going to save your buyer like $5 and $4, and your buyer's going to be even more happier with you. So you should just do Ground Advantage. Um, Monkey, I think they're seeing what's happening and they're going to try to attack the market. That's what they're doing. A very smart play. They should have done it years ago. They should have been doing this. They should have done this like 10 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever Marketplace was like hot. I remember I sold stuff in 2019 in Marketplace and Marketplace was hot, but then they like just forgot about it, it feels like. So I hope they do because I think that's going to be a weapon, especially for people who have social media. If we're able to just list our items to our audiences through Marketplace, that would be crazy good. You can keep them all on the same platform. Um, Annie, so if I was selling all jackets and most of my jackets weighed between 1 to 2 pounds, I would just set it all at 1 to 2 pound rate. Sure, there's going to be a couple jackets that weigh a little bit heavier, but if a person buys only one or two of those jackets, I can still adjust up to 5 pounds, so it won't cost me anything. But on a jacket show, I'm going to be a lot more careful. When I'm running shirts and stuff, it's a little bit of a different story. 11 ounces is pretty much what shirts weigh. One buyer went up to 7 pounds, but it came out fine. Ground Advantage over 5 pounds. It just undercharged. It just undercharged them after 5 pounds. Yeah, so if you just do regular weights, they'll start charging again after 5 pounds. But the buyers are still getting a crazy deal compared to buying on other platforms. Like if they bought something on eBay and they bought multiple items up to 7 pounds, they're going to be charged a crazy amount of money. Even when sellers adjust their rates, like right now on mine, I have it set to after their first item, every additional item is $1. So if they bought 7 items from me, they would be charged $8 for shipping plus an additional 7. So they'd be charged $15 for shipping. If they did the same here on Whatnot, they would probably be charged like $12 for the same box. So they're actually getting a better rate here on Whatnot than they are similar to like Posh and other places like that. Yeah, 12 to 15 is cool because again, you can adjust as you go. Yeah, I can see that smaller sellers sell more bundles. I get that. I'll say this. There's one particular buyer that's buying your bundles, and that's a reseller. So what I would say is I think that you should focus more on curated shows. Do shows that target a specific, don't do a bunch of randoms because whenever we do random shows, even us, we do random shows and I'll have buyers come in and buy 20 items. It's always on the random pool shows that just have a bunch of random brands. But if you do like, if you source a bunch of collared shirts, like dress shirts, you can do a dress shirt show. Then you can do a women's dress show. Then you can do an accessory show. So if you try to niche down your show and make it more curated, you're going to target a specific buyer and not so much resellers. And then you're going to see what works in the curated show and you're going to start doing that over and over again. So like on our Lululemon show, there's like barely any resellers. There are probably a couple buying from us, but as you can see, people, even though they were on free shipping, they still only bought 2 items. They could have bought another 5 for free shipping. They only bought 2. That was the majority of our buys, which means that's going to a natural customer and not a reseller. So over the last couple of years, we love resellers. Obviously, we love resellers coming and buying from us, making some money. We don't care. But that natural customer is who we actually want to hit. And there's a lot of natural customers now on Whatnot. So that's what I'll say. Maybe set your shows up and approach different. When things happen like this, you have to adjust your business. That's just the end game. You have to adjust. And if you don't adjust, then you're going to be stuck doing the same thing and it's not going to be working for you. So that's my advice. Maybe switch up to like more curated style shows. This actually worked out really well. Yeah. I think it's going to be better once you learn. how it works and how shipping adjusts and how you can adjust your shipping, I feel like a lot of people are actually going to love this change. Like I love this change because this is this is how we did our shows from the beginning of Whatnot until about 4 months ago. We've always done it this way, where I've always just charged a base weight and just shipped out the items and adjusted weight after the show, but it usually always works out at the end. So that it wasn't really much of a adjustment for me. So yeah, Ground Advantage poly bags are great. The ones I get off of I get off of Amazon, and I usually buy them in batches of 1,000, I think, and I think I'm gonna buy bigger batches. That way I get more of a discount too, because I'm gonna be using a bunch of these poly bags now. Amazon is where I get them. If you go to my link tree and any of my bios on my social media, very top of my link tree has the products we use on a daily basis section. That has my tape, my bags, everything that we use. I get them all off Amazon. There's other places you can get them a lot cheaper too if you buy in like really big bulk. If somebody knows in the chat, feel free to drop like other places. I just love Amazon because Kayla orders a bunch of stuff and I just order my supplies when she's ordering her stuff and it all comes in at the same time. So, um, rather polybag box. Yeah, I use mostly polybags. And even if I get a bundle of like, I don't have the Ground Advantage bags near me, but even if I get a bundle of like 15 items, I'll throw 15 items, I'll throw them all in that poly bag and I'll throw them in a clear bag. So I have big clear bags. Oh, here we go. I got these. These are my small, big clear bags. So these will usually fit like, if I'm shipping a Lululemon show, I can fit like 8 items in one of these bags. And then here's the Ground Advantage bag. So I stick them in that bag first, then stick them in this bag. But if it doesn't fit in that small bag, then I'll use one of these. These are the big boys. I forget the dimensions on this. I think it's 18 by 24. So you stick them all in here and then you squeeze this down and push out all the air. And then you slide them into that Ground Advantage bag and you're good to go. Like, and you don't have to worry about the Ground Advantage bags breaking or anything. And I've shipped out bundles of, 15, 20 items when I did wholesale, like back in the day, and I never had an issue with it. So I didn't create a shipping profile. I just did Ground Advantage. And at the top, I clicked on first class mail because we ship out gift cards. If somebody just wins a gift card, we ship those out first class so we didn't get charged the full amount. 6,000 shipping labels. There you go for 23 bucks. There's some good deals on TikTok Shop. I just bought some tape for like 10 bucks. I know some people don't like TikTok Shop, but they got some good deals on tape. Menards. We don't have Menards here in Florida, but if we did, $1.69 for 100 poly mailers is crazy cheap. Yeah, that's 16, 17 cents, right? If I did my math correctly. I'm here and semi-awake. Everybody's here. What's up, Flippin' Nurse? I'm way behind. Appreciate you, Annie. I practice sending out for shows to be safe. I've set all my shirts to 1 pound. No, you can do 1 pounds too. Because what you can tell your buyers, there's gonna be ways to do your shows, depending on how many items you have in your show, that's gonna actually entice buyers to buy more, even though they're paying more for their first item. So like when you run that show, DLW, what you're gonna tell people is once you buy your first item, your next 4 are free shipping. And then once they buy their first item for $7.75, which is basically what they would usually pay if they were buying it at the proper weight on like eBay, it would be $7.75. Then you can tell them, buy 1 item, your next 4 are free. That's the way you advertise it. So even though you're overcharging for the first label, you want them to bundle as much as they can so they can fulfill that $5 worth or 5 pounds worth. So yeah, curated shows are the best. Do curated shows. What point did you guys choose to incorporate LLC? We don't have an LLC or S Corp, but we probably will at some point this year because we're going to need to, because I'm making too much money to be a sole proprietor at this point. Yeah, Coach, if you have the quarterly coupon, but otherwise they're kind of overpriced. Do you always double pack? Yes. I feel like if you just throw your stuff in your package mailer, completely fine. Do that. I know a lot of people that do that. Surfs is one of those people that just throw it in and ship it out. I make fun of them all the time for it. I like to double pack, 1 for safety for the items. 2, it looks a little bit more professional. I think most people that bought from us appreciate when they get their items in a poly bag and a bag as opposed to just thrown into the bag. Because if there's a hole that pokes through this poly bag, then if it gets left out and gets rained on, I used to be a mailman. I know how it works. If it's raining outside, your packages are getting wet because I'm getting wet. So if you have a hole in that bag, your items on the inside get wet. So if you have another packaging, there's less of a chance of that happening. Of course, it could still happen. So, but all the bags I use, if you go to my Instagram page, Kway Shop, and they're all linked in my bio. 1 penny. Oh yeah, I did the math wrong. I think I did the math really wrong on those. Both bags. Done it both way, both bags, or just poly bags. I use both bags if you're asking me. What do you write off your business bags? Talk to your tax pro. They'll tell you what you can write off. It's, the space that I use in my house is a write off. The bags I buy are a write off. Everything I buy for my business is a write off. Mileage is a write off. There's lots of them. So your tax pro will be able to tell you everything. They'll give you a list and then they'll tell you at the end of the year, like gather all the information. Your phone bill, if you bought any phones for your business, um, I'm buying a Cybertruck. My Cybertruck is going to be solely for my business. So I'm going to be able to write off the whole amount of the Cybertruck this year. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can buy and get kind of a discount on. So inventory, yes, inventory is a cost of goods. So your cost of goods is a write-off. When do you upgrade to a label maker? Is it in your link tree? The one that I use is a Dymo 4XL. They don't make it anymore. I was using the Jadens. I didn't like it because it kind of crapped out on me. So I'm looking for a better solution. Right now, I still use the 4XL. My Dymo 4XL I've had since 2018, and it's been kicking butt. So I need a backup just in case this thing ever craps out. But my Jadens kind of went away. So yeah, giveaways are marketing, storage. Yep, if you have a storage space, so if you store your stuff in a storage unit and it's solely used for your business, you don't have like half of it for your stuff that's around your house and half of it for your business. If you have half of it for your stuff for your house, then you're only supposed to write off half of your storage unit. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, if you have it all for your business, you can write off that whole amount. I know I want to get a Rollo. I actually reached out to Rollo and see if they would like sponsor me, and they haven't reached back out yet. So yeah, Jaden's aren't bad. Mine just crapped out on me. It like printed half the label and then it stopped. It just started doing that recently, so I went back to the Dymo. So the clear bags, if you go to my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they're all the same name that you see up here. Go there. At the very top, there's going to be a link tree. You're going to click that link tree, and at the very top of the link tree, it's going to say products we use on a daily basis, and that's where it's at. We are going to be truck, except he got his wrapped. I'm not going to wrap mine. So yeah. How do we keep track of inventory? All of our inventory gets dropped into Nifty. So as soon as we create our listing, we create it in Nifty. It all stays within Nifty. All of our sales stay within Nifty. The only thing I keep outside of Nifty is I have my expenses on a separate spreadsheet because I just like the way it looks and like the way it flows, but you can do that in Nifty too if you wanted to. Do you think Nifty's suggested price is accurate? I think on basic items, it is pretty close. On niche items, it is not. Like if I'm listing a very, very rare colorway of a Polo Ralph Lauren shirt, Chris just showed me like a crazy one that he got the other day. It's not going to give you accurate prices. It's just going to like read the label, and it's going to give you suggested prices off of just like basic information, just using Google Lens to figure out the price. So for those items, I would always do research. That's what I'll say. Just do research on your items. Don't trust a AI to tell you what to price your items for. Do your accurate research. It only takes a couple seconds. I haven't tried it out. No, Golden. I haven't. If Nifty ever cross lists there, I'll give it a try. Do we have a share link? I'm not missing it. Do we have a request to be an affiliate? Do we have a share link with Nifty? Oh, like for you to share it, LG, like on your social media, you can under the settings it says affiliate, and then click on that and then apply. I think she gets back to you in like 1 day, and then you'll get an affiliate link. You might actually automatically get in. Before you used to have to apply, but now they'd probably just give you like a generic affiliate link like right away. And everybody has the same deal that I have. I don't have any special deal with Nifty. It's not like I get a bigger percentage. Everybody gets 20% for everybody they sign up. So 20% for life. So if I sign you up, LG, and you stay on Nifty for 6 months, I make 20% of your pay, whatever you pay to Nifty. If you pay $90 a month, I make $18 per month for as long as you stay signed up. And everybody has that. Yes, I'm Ed. We do have a polo show. We have a polo show here. Like ready. This down here is all Polo Ralph Lauren that was sent in on consignment, and I have another box, but I'm seeing if I can get the purple labels here before I do that show. So you have to apply still. Okay, there you go. You still got to apply. When I did it, I was talking to Nifty, so they just gave me the link. But yeah, it's in the settings. It's in the settings. Appreciate you guys hanging out. If you guys have any questions, drop in the chat. I'll get to shipping now that we did the big shipping spiel. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people are freaking out, but it's not that crazy. I'd love to know in the chat right now, if you're a seller, first leave me a thumbs up. If you're a seller in the chat, leave me a thumbs up. And then after you leave me a thumbs up, what I want you to do is Give me a percentage of customers in your shows that buy more than 5 pounds worth of items. Like, what percentage of your sales in every show is more than 5 pounds? And if you have to go look at it, go look at it really quick, because I have a feeling it's going to be a very, very, yeah, it's going to be a very, 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 very low percentage. So depends on the show. Yeah, I get like an average show. It depends on the shows too. Like if we do a random pool show, it's probably like 10%. But if we do like a Lululemon show, I just showed you I had 100 and how many orders did I have? I think it was 120 something orders. I can't see it. Hold on. Let me go to my Gmail because I already started shipping, so I can't tell how many I have off of this page really quick. So we had 114 shipments, and only 6 of those were over 5 pounds. So under 5% for me on a 362 item show. You would assume the more items you sell, the more bundles you would get, but it's actually opposite, especially when you do a curated show. If you're doing like random pulls and you're attracting a lot of resellers, then yeah, you probably would have a higher percentage. But a curated show, like 362 items, only 6 out of 114 shipments. By the way, we had this is another thing you guys don't get when you don't do curated shows. You do a curated show. Last night we had 114. Let me show you this. So you don't think I'm lying to you. 114 shipments. Look at the first time buyers on this. Look at that first time buyer. That's crazy. Out of 114, 72 were first time buyers. That's like that's good. That's good news for Whatnot too. Like everybody thinks Whatnot is saturated with sellers. Whatnot's saturated with buyers. 72 new buyers, and I'm already like an established seller. That's crazy good. Crazy good. 5% depends on the show. Haven't done my first show. Yeah, that's okay. You can do your first show. It's 5%. Yeah. Resellers Paradise show is a lot. Yeah. So Resellers Paradise show, I can see that. If you're selling to a bunch of resellers, you're going to have bigger bundles because they understand once they get on that free shipping, they're going to go crazy. But a natural buyer is like 1 or 2 items. All right, I'm maxed out. I don't want to buy anymore. I've spent my 40 bucks that I want to spend today. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Source all my inventory in here. So I'm the buyer that buys 7 because you're a reseller. You're the buyer, but you're also a reseller. So resellers will bundle usually. You'll get the people that aren't resellers that just buy a couple items for themselves. 30% on ours. There you go. 30%. So 30% you're probably selling to mostly resellers. First show together, please follow and bookmark. Everybody go follow. If you guys have shows, drop them in the chat too. Let everybody know when you got shows coming up. Thoughts on max bundle shipping to stay under 5 pounds. I use the same packaging for all my orders. So we were talking about that a little earlier. Ground advantage is going to be your way to go. I know a lot of people are sticking to flat rate for now because of the price of it is still decent for your buyers. But I think you should just go ground advantage. And like I said, on a show like yesterday's show, I put everything at 11 ounces. If you adjust your weights from 11 ounces to 15 ounces, so if you sell something that's a little heavier than 11 ounces, it doesn't cost you a label adjustment to up it to 15. You can just up it to 15. If you sell 2 items, and let's say those 2 items weigh 2 pounds each, and you only charge them for 11 ounces, you're over a pound, which means you can adjust that label up to 4 pounds and it doesn't cost you a label adjustment. So once you figure out those rules and you figure out the little caveats, you'll understand that it doesn't cost anything between 1 to 5 pounds ships for $7.75 on Whatnot. So if you adjust your label anywhere between 1 to 5 pounds, as long as you've shipped over 1 pound and you charge your buyer over 1 pounds and they're on that $7.75, you can adjust it anywhere within that 1 to 5 pounds range. Yeah, mix show. Yeah, like the random pull show. Yeah, it attracts a lot. It attracts mostly resellers, and we understand that when we do a mixed pull show, we expect the prices to be lower because that's where the resellers want them, is a little bit lower. But that's usually like if I'm doing a consignment random pull show, the consignor already knows they're probably going to get a little less per item unless they're doing like crazy good stuff. So 50% of our shows, yeah, new buyers are everywhere right now. Squishy show, let's go. Amy D on Whatnot right now. I know she came in here. She had it set for tomorrow, and it's today. And she came on. I know. I'm telling people, everybody go watch Amy D right now. She's on Whatnot. We're over here just talking. So, coordinated Lily Pulitzer summer clear on a Friday. Let's go. What about over 5 pounds? So if you undercharge your buyer, If you undercharge your buyer, if you charge them for 4 pounds 5 ounces, let's say, and their package weighs 6 pounds, so you gotta adjust it from 5 to 6 pounds. It will cost you a label adjustment, but remember you have 5 of those for free, so you'll have to adjust it. If you ran out of those, then you will eat that cost. So anything over 5 pounds, if you don't charge adequate weights, you will have to pay that additional. So how do you start? How do you get started with consigning? Like, how did I get started with consigning? Just through social media. I made some social media posts. I found some really great consigners, and we've just been rocking and rolling ever since. One of my consigners, I'll give you guys some info. This year alone, one of my consigners, we've done over $100,000 in sales together. We've done $100,784 in sales together. So consignment's huge. Consignment's huge. Do you unbundle? I will if they buy like a whole bunch of stuff. If they buy a whole bunch of stuff and I can't fit it in one Ground Advantage box, then I will split it. And I'll know that that'll either take a label adjustment or I'll have to pay for that adjustment. But that's part of the game. That usually only happens in a show maybe once or twice. The last show that we just did, it's not going to happen at all. I only had, I think, how many? Who's my biggest order on that show? I have a 10 item order. I think it was like 12 items, right? I have an 11 item order, a 10 item order, another 10 item order. So far it's 11 items is my biggest order. And I had a 19 item order, so I might have to split one singular person's order from last show. But remember too, it's a 12 by 12 by 12 box. So that means you can stack 2 Ground Advantage boxes on top of each other. As long as they measure 12 by 12 by 12, you can ship all of your items out with one box. So remember that 12 by 12 by 12 is a big box. The Ground Advantage boxes, these are 12 by 12 by 8. So that means you can stack 2 of these on top of each other and stick one inside the other, tape the bottom and tape the top after you put them together. And you can do like this and stick another one on top of this. So you have all of this box to put in your orders. So just keep that in mind. On that order, I'll see. Usually I don't like stacking the boxes if I don't have to. If I have splits, I'll split the thing. So what's your going rate for consignment? I do 70-30 splits. I take 30% after fees. It's one of the best consignment deals. And the reason I do that consignment split, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, why do you do 50-50 or 60-40 in your favor? It's because I know that I'm consigning with resellers and I know what you guys pay for your items and I know what I'm going to sell them for on Whatnot. I'm not going to get full price. If I was selling them on eBay, sure, I'll do a 50-50 split on eBay, but I'm going to sell them on Whatnot and you're probably going to get $3 to $5 less than you would on eBay. So because of that, and because of how fast I'm able to sell items, I'll take 30%. And that gives my consigners enough money to where they are happy and they come back to me. So we sell an item like every 30 seconds on stream. Our average sell price right now, the last show was a little bit lower because it's Lulu. But our normal average sale price for most of the year is somewhere between $20 to $25. So just think if it's $20 after fees, I'm making about $5 every 30 seconds. 5, 5, 5, 5 on every show. Of course, I have time to ship those items afterwards. So there's that time that's involved as well. But just factor in $5 every 30 seconds is what I'm making. $10 every minute. If I can keep a show going for 300 plus items like I did last night, that's really, really, really good money. Really, really good money. And I'm not the type to like want to max out all the money because again, I know who I'm dealing with. I want to make sure they're making enough money. And that's why my main consigner has consigned with me for multiple years now. Last year, I think we did $160,000 in sales together. This year, we're already up to $100,000 in sales. I think the year before that is when we first started. And I think we did like 45,000 in sales together. So me and him have done like almost 300,000 in sales together. And the reason he keeps sending items back to me is because I get him good prices and I give him good money. That's it. And I make good money off of the stuff he gives me. And it also helps my shows too. My shows are filled with good brands because my consigners are happy and they're able to send those good brands to me. So it's a give and a take. You can't always take. What do you mean, Barb? I'm my bad. I'm all over the place right now. Appreciate you guys being here. Do you know when we can get Ground Advantage boxes here? Flip the World. I was talking to him a little bit the other day. He said he asked Whatnot and they said they have no they're not working on it. They said that they're not doing it, is what he told me. So to be honest, I think they should, because if Posh can do it, I feel like Whatnot probably sells more volume than Posh does right now. So they should, but I don't know if the post office has enough boxes, so maybe that's why they're holding off on it. But it would be awesome if Whatnot could put it on the actual app and the seller page, and we can order more volume than we can order on Posh. Like we can order 1,000 boxes at a time instead of only buying 100 or getting 100 at a time. That would be awesome, but I haven't seen anything on it, so I have no answer for that. How do you list your price? How do you list your price at $29.99? What do you mean? How do I list my price at $29.99? Like in the shop? Is that what you're talking about? We're in Florida. Do you send whatever they have and you pick out? No. So they fill out a spreadsheet on what they have when they first start consigning with us, and we approve certain things. So most people will send me like 50 to 100 items on that spreadsheet, and I'll usually only take anywhere between 10 to 20 items off that spreadsheet, and I'll pass on everything else because I only want the best items, and I want the items that are going to sell for enough for them to make enough money. If I take everything, there's going to be a lot of $1 to $5 sales there, and they're going to be really upset. But if I take all the items that are going to sell for $20 to $30, then they see they only sent me 20 items, but they got like, $400 or $500 for the items that they gave me, then they're going to be really happy and they're going to send me more of those items. So, what do you think about reduced shipping? From here on out, you will never see me do a reduced shipping show. We're going to go back to how it was before. And again, statistically, based off the show that I just did, I sold 362 items. There was only 6 orders that bought more than 5 pounds. The only people that benefit from a reduced shipping show is people that buy more than 5 pounds. I had 100 and what I say before, 120 something orders, 114 maybe, I forget what I said. And there was only 6 people. So less than 5% of the items that were purchased, 5% of the buyers that purchased from me yesterday had an advantage if they had reduced shipping. My prices didn't tank. I had the same sale prices that I had when I was doing reduced shipping. Like the shows look identical. The only thing was the people who bought more than 7 items had to continue to pay shipping after the 7th item, and they were perfectly fine with it. I had one person that reached out today and asked about it, and they said, am I going to get a refund? I said, no. During the show, I let you know. And in the beginning of the show, multiple times during the show, I let you guys know you can bundle 7 items for $7.75, and they were completely fine with it after I said that. What are the measurements of the Ground Advantage box we are going to use? The measurements of that box is 12 by 12 by 8. To be honest, I don't ever change the measurements on when I'm shipping unless it's like a bigger box than 12 by 12 by 12. If I'm shipping a poly mailer, it says 12 by 12 by 12 on there. I'm going to keep it at 12 by 12 by 12. I'm not going to adjust it. There's no reason to. Your price isn't going to change. You're just making more work for yourself. USPS commercial shows Ground Advantage boxes. Yeah, we can't get them. I know. That's the post office for you. That's why it's cheaper right now to ship a 3-pound item than it is an 11-ounce item currently. It just doesn't make any sense. Will you be willing to share that spreadsheet format? Oh, for consigners, yeah, reach out to me, LG. I can email it to you. I'll just email you a copy of it, and then you can just use it. It's not anything crazy. A consignor made it for me, and then I've just been using it ever since. But yeah, reach out to me. I'll just send you a copy of it, and then you can just copy it and send it to other people too. Makes sense. It's curated to what you know sales. Yep. Do you use Posh boxes? Yes, they're not Posh. By the way, they're post office boxes, not Posh boxes. They're USPS boxes. They're just like the priority boxes. A lot of people think they're only for Poshmark. You can use them on any platform as long as you put a proper Ground Advantage label on top of them. You're allowed to use them. Sounds like I would be better off trying to consign with you. You can reach out to me if you have good stuff. I will tell you, most of the consignment opportunities that come my way, people who send me stuff, I decline 90% of them because most people just want to send me their junk that's not selling, like their basic Peter Millar shirts with logos all over them or their Untuck It shirts. But stuff like that, like I can get at my own thrift stores. I'm looking for like higher end stuff that I can fit into shows, like higher end Lululemon, Vuori, Alo. If you have Vuori or Alo right now, send it. Just email me or DM me, and I will give you the spreadsheet. You can fill it out. I will take your Vuori and Alo because right now Vuori and Alo is going for a premium on Whatnot. I can get more on Whatnot for Alo than I can on eBay. So a lot of people just send me all of their Alo, all of their Vuori. So you use Ground Advantage box on eBay Vinted. Yep, you can use them on all. They're post office boxes, so you can use them anywhere. I've been using them for months now. I've never had an issue with them. They were actually out before Posh got them. There was big businesses that already had deals with the post office that got those boxes and bags. They don't sell on Poshmark. They sell their own stuff. Yeah, my sister used to work for the post office. She recently quit and she saw those way before. So, do you have to sell on Posh? Yes, you have to sell on Posh to request the boxes, correct. You have to open up a Posh account. You can just open one and request them. Just know they will cut you off if you don't sell anything there and you just keep requesting boxes. After a while, they're going to cut you off. Do you only do consignment or do you guys source your own stuff? So, 30 or 40%, no, 30% of what we sold yesterday was our stuff. And we're starting to find more bulk sources. So we're going to be selling more of our own stuff on our shows, but the majority of what we sold this year on Whatnot has all been consignment. Want to buy women's clothes too. One of my Goodwill, I feel awkward being in the women's section. What do you do, David? What I'll tell you to do is it's going to be very, very simple. It's going to be, don't worry about what other people think about you. That's my answer. If you're in the women's section and there's people looking at you, there's women in the men's section all the time. They're always blocking the damn aisle. I go down the aisle and there's always women standing there shopping. And I'm like, I'm the dude here. But no, who cares what other people think? There's women that shop in the men's section. There's men that shop in the women's section. If anybody asks, say you're looking for something for your wife. That's all you got to say. It's just every time I go in the men's section, there's always women just shopping and they're just right there. And I'm like, I want to get in here. I'm the dude here. Let me in. Facebook got Ground Advantage. Must be a big shift. Oh yeah, they're doing everything Ground Advantage because it's cheaper. When they ship through the air, so priority goes through the air, ground obviously stays on the ground. That's Ground Advantage. So the post office, I don't think still own their own planes. When they ship through the air, they actually rent the planes out from UPS and FedEx. I could be wrong about that. That was back when I used to work at the post office, but I'm sure they don't have their own planes by now. So it costs them more money to ship them priority than it was if they just used their own vehicles and ship them ground. So that's why they're switching a lot of the stuff over to ground because it's cheaper to keep it in-house than to have a contract with UPS and then fly it, where it needs to go. Because to get there in a couple days, you have to fly it. You can't do it on the ground. You can't, drive it. No, we take pre-owned. So most of what we sold last night was pre-owned clothing. So we do take pre-owned. But again, we're looking for the best of the best. I prefer the men's section. I know you're one of those ladies, LG. You're one of those ladies that got to fight in the men's section. I shop bra. I've been in the bra aisle from time to time. There's a lot of money to be made in the bra aisle, although I haven't been in there in like a year. But there was a point in time where I was watching a bunch of like women resellers, and there's a lot of money to be made in the bra section. There's a lot of money to be made in the bra section. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, you just get over it. Just get over it. You're over it already, David. When you're gonna go there tomorrow and you're gonna be like, I don't care what that lady, I don't care what LG thinks about me. LG's looking at you from across the room like you're going through the bra section and you don't even care what LG thinks about you. Right, LG? When I hit Dirty Dillard's, I'm all over the women's section. I need to go to Dillard's. I hear there's lots of good clearance at Dillard's. Right now, if you guys don't know, I made a video. TJ Maxx and Marshalls, if you're looking for a good new with tag inventory, TJ Maxx and Marshalls is doing their yellow tag clearance event. I already cleared. Look at this. I can say it. I only say it after I'm done shopping there. After I'm done shopping, that's when I say TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Before I finish shopping, you guys will never hear me say TJ Maxx and Marshalls. That whole bin right there is filled from top to bottom with new with tag TJ Maxx and Marshalls clothing. So if you need more inventory, if you need new inventory, TJ Maxx and Marshalls is the place to go. And if you go there and you get their credit card, not everybody's good with credit cards, so don't get one if you're not good with credit cards. But you can use their credit card, and after you spend $200, they give you a $10 gift certificate to use, or $10 coupon, I guess, to use in their store. And right now I have $150 worth of coupons. I've already used $150 on my last sourcing trip. So it's like free inventory, or what we like to do is buy Christmas gifts and stuff like that with the free money we get, because it's better to use your own money on inventory because you can write that off. If you use your gift certificates on free inventory, you can't write that off at the end of the year. So just keep that in mind. I'd rather use money instead of not use money and use the money that I get for free on stuff that we're actually going to use, if that makes sense. How do I get pre-owned bales? You can find bale sites online, but I will tell you most are not the best. So yeah, most are not the best. Most of my wholesale that comes through now comes through social media direct to the supplier, the suppliers that don't have social media pages. Most of my suppliers don't have any social media presence at all. They just reach out to specific sellers that they see are doing good, and they will be like, hey, I have this. Are you interested? And I'll say yay or nay. And then I'll ask for photos and videos, and then I'll usually make a small buy to start out with. TJ Maxx and Marshall sale goes on for a month, but all the good stuff sells out pretty quick. What'd you get? I got a lot of goodies. That's what I got. What brands am I picking up there? Hold on. I'll show you a couple. I'll show you a couple. I'll show you a couple. A lot of this stuff is like eBay inventory. And I'll say this, most of the stuff I purchase is stuff that I only see like onesies and twosies of. If you go there and you see a lot of the same thing over and over again, it's a good chance they're saturated and you don't want to pick it up because it's going to be a race to the bottom when you list it. But like 3XB Polo Ralph Lauren for $15, and it's a polo. So just a simple polo, but you guys already know I sell these in pre-owned condition for 25 to 30. So this being new with tags, this is probably gonna be like a $50 to $60 polo, and I paid 15 for it. It is a little bit more pricier than if you go to a thrift store, obviously, but it's new with tags, so less complaints. This is one of the things that I only found one of. I went to like 20 plus stores and I only found one of these. By the way, if anybody wants this stuff, let me know and I'll sell it to you right now. That way I don't have to list it. BYLT, these are the everyday pant. I sell these pre-owned condition for $35. All the time I find these at thrifts for $35 and I will grab them and sell them for $35. So this being new at tag, this is probably like a $50-ish pair of pants. And like I said, I only found one of those. So what's up, Frenchie? But yeah, go to TJ Maxx and Marshalls tomorrow. Yellow tag. They did just start marking down red tag, so make sure you don't hit the red tag section. You go right to the yellow tag section. Where am I in Florida? I'm in Tampa Bay area. Rain Spooner's good. I didn't find any Rain Spooners. Resell part-time. I have about 430 active listings. I read you should list every day because the algorithm is better list everything now. Yes, list as much as you can, as often as you can, because the more listings you have, the more chances you have for a sale. But if you can't list, don't make it the end of the world. If you're busy because you work a full-time job and you come home and you're too tired, don't force yourself to list 10 items because and make yourself miserable because you'll get burnt out. So take the night off if you have to. That's all I'll say. I literally just got a $15 offer on those pants. Don't take the offer. Don't take it. Don't take it. Brunello, oh yes. And I found Brioni at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. Only once I found a Brioni shirt. So there's some really good stuff there. I'm gonna start shipping. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm gonna start shipping now. We've been talking long enough, but I'll keep talking. The more you talk to me, the less work I have to do. That's how I feel. So the more you get me talking, the less work I have, and then Kayla will wake up tomorrow and be like, "Did you even ship anything? What did you do the whole time you were out there?" And I'll say, LG was in my chat and she was bothering me the whole day, so I couldn't do any work. So I'll tell her. I blame LG any chance I get. LG, Amy D, all of them. Yep, I blame all of you. You're always my number one to blame. It's never my fault. That's my motto. It's never my fault. I don't have a job and I'm burnt out tired. I think we all are. This is the time of year that you got to work hard to make the money. But wait, you work really hard right now, and then come Christmas time, you can kind of chill out and relax a little bit and let the sales just roll in. I saw a new Attack G4 skirt size 4 at Goodwill. If the retail was 160, Goodwill one, and yeah, that's too much. Too much. Pass. Women's G4 doesn't sell as well as men's G4 does. So if it's a men's G4, I definitely would have picked it up. Here's an instance right here. I'm gonna show you guys. This is a pair of Lululemon men's pants. These I sold at an 11-ounce rate. Obviously, men's Lululemon pants, they are much more than 11 ounces. These weigh in at 15 ounces even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust. Watch this. I adjusted it from 11 and I just adjusted it to 15. As you can see, this one says 11 right here. That's the order I'm shipping. 15 ounces. Now watch. When I click off of 15, It doesn't change and it doesn't cost me a label adjustment. So you can ship out 11 and adjust to 15 just fine, and it won't cost you, dang it, it won't cost you any money. My bad, I hit the button. Boom. Adjust it, you're cool, you're good to go. You just press save, you ship it, easy money. Yep, up to 15 is safe. Up to 15 is safe. A lot of people don't understand that yet. They think that if they adjust, they're automatically going to have to be charged, but that's why I say just use proper weights, average it out. If you have anything that's way over, then of course you can change the weights during your show. Surfs, what are you doing here? Don't you have like somewhere else to be? Don't you have like videos to make? Don't you have something to do? Why are you here? Oh my God, nobody wants you here. I'm doing ground. I'm not doing any more flat rate shows. 0 flat rate shows. Like I said yesterday, I did 114 orders. There's only 6 people that bought more than 5 pounds. So there's only 6 people that would have benefited out of 140 or 114. There's only 6 people that would have benefited from a flat rate show. So I'm not doing any more flat rates. They're just getting charged. And even if they get charged, they buy 7 pounds worth of stuff. They're pretty much still going to pay right around $9.21, what the old shipping was, depending on where they live, of course. But should work out to about the same shipping that they had before. So if you do 11 ounces for most shirts, but then I have a pair of jeans that's over a pound, adjust the pound. Then if they're 2 pounds, it won't cost me. So Allie, you have 5 label adjustments. So if you do a show and you sell 50 items and 3 of those items you have to adjust from 11 ounces to 2 pounds, then you will have still 2 more label adjustments before you start getting charged. Also, while you're doing the show, if you're super worried about getting overages, then during the show, go into your listing. If you're doing random pulls, which most of you probably do, go into your listing and adjust it to 2 pounds really quick, and then run the auction. Let your buyers know, hey, I have to adjust this to 2 pounds because this is a pair of jeans and it's not a shirt. And then it will adjust the weights properly and it'll charge them properly. So if they buy more than 5 pounds, you should be fine because they've paid the overages. As long as you're not doing a flat $7.75 show. If you do that, then you will pay the overages, which I think most people are probably going to stop doing $7.75 max shipping. We did linens as a test show. Yeah, don't do heavy stuff as a test show. That's not a good thing to do. Not a good thing to do. How many people help you run a show? Just me and my wife. Everything we do is just me and the wifey. And then with shipping is me and the wife too. Like right now I'm shipping right now, so I don't have to ship as much tomorrow because we go and work out on Monday mornings. And usually Monday morning workouts are the worst because we're like accustomed to sitting around all day like we did today. So if I get part of the shipping done, it doesn't feel as bad. Also, we did a big show yesterday, so I have to ship all of this stuff out. And I don't really want to have a ton of work to do tomorrow after we work out. So that's what I'm doing a little bit now. Usually we just ship everything out on Monday, do it all on Monday ourselves, but that's why I'm here doing this. Although I really haven't shipped much since I've been on. So only ones in our show too. We handle all. Yep. You don't need a huge team to get it done. Even if you don't have like a significant other to help you with the show, I know tons of people that do shows by themselves and do perfectly fine. It's a little harder because you gotta keep track of the chat. You got to keep track of your items you're selling. Usually those are more of a slower pace show, but there's people that are, single sellers and they make it happen. They make it work. Surfs does it by himself sometimes. His wife doesn't want to help him. I don't blame her. Like, who wants to hang around a guy that just smiles all day? Weirdly, I wouldn't want to help him either. His wife sometimes he like drags her in there and like, Shelby, come help me. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I want to relax today. I want like time away from you. And he's like, come on, I can't do it without you. And then he like forces her to be on camera because he doesn't look good on camera, but she does. It's just like a whole thing. Anytime you go on surf shows, that's usually how it goes. If you print an 11 ounce, 15 ounces. So why do you adjust it? Am I crazy here? It does it? I don't know. It probably does. I should test it. Wait, hold on. Does it? No, it doesn't. It comes out as 11. So the post office technically could stop this if it's 15. When they go and look at it, they'll see that Whatnot charged for they actually got charged for a 15 ounce label, but it says 11 on here. So that's why I go in and adjust it. It's still the same. technically you're still paying the same price, because I believe 15 and 11 ounces, even if you're buying on a show, is still the same price. But I like to adjust it so it doesn't get stopped by the post office, because sometimes the postal employees can be not so friendly. We get the shipping challenge for sure. It only cost me $1.05 today, but it's worth it. It went 15 and 2 pounds. Yeah, it shouldn't be that much more expensive to adjust either. So when's the last time he ran a show? I don't know. The dude's lazy. Yeah, I don't know what is he doing? Like, he's here watching me ship a Whatnot show, but he's not doing a Whatnot show. How does that make any sense? 236, 266. How does that make any sense? 236, 266. 236, 266. Whoops. Okay. 236. I have to make sure I pay attention here, because last time I did one of these, I messed up an order because I was too busy talking about surfs. He always distracts me. There's 266. He always distracts me. What do you do for shipping when you're on vacation? All platforms have vacation mode. I think including Whatnot too. So you just turn on vacation mode. To be honest, when we go on vacation, we usually only go for 2 or 3 days. So we keep all our stores turned on except for eBay. I was thinking, yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're just like Surfs. You're just always wrong like him. You're starting to remind me a lot of MLG. Appreciate you, Retro. I sell everywhere. eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Whatnot. Where do you get the number tags? Also, if you go to my Instagram, go to the top, go to the products we use on a daily basis section. The number tags are also linked there. Highly suggest buying up to 400. I think it's like $30 for 400. So if you do a bigger show, you don't have to worry about like bagging during your show too. Does Nifty allow you to put all stores on vacation mode? No, Nifty knows your stores are on vacation mode. You have to actually go into the platform and turn them on. You can't turn them on from Nifty. But when you turn them on, Nifty automatically knows they're on. So Nifty will no longer send out offers, do any of that stuff that's going to get you in trouble on those platforms. It automatically recognizes that you're on vacation. He's live on YouTube right now. What is he doing here? Why was he just here 2 minutes ago? What? There's that finds. Why is he up this late? He is live on YouTube. There's only 37 people watching him right now.
Short sleeve. This one is a featherweight mesh. I sold this one for $19.79. That was a nifty offer. What's up, Trisha? Trisha, down there not expanding her CD collection because it's rainy season and she can't get outside to make more books CD shops.
I left him a little note. I can't do a co-host. He's on YouTube. You guys can listen to him in the background.
Chicken dinner. Get you guys top in.
There to show his chat how cute. Oh, that's what he was doing. Oh, we got to mute him, by the way. I can't listen to him. Let's turn him down a little bit. I'm sorry you have to listen to him twice if you already listened to him. He got jelly? I knew he would.
What is up, Felix? Felix,
he's so behind on the chat. This guy doesn't read. He's such a spacey guy. He's such a spacey guy. He is so far behind on his chat. What is he doing at 12 o'clock shipping out orders anyway? Like, he has something to do in the morning. He's probably just like waking up late tomorrow. That's what he's going to do. This is embarrassing. I just said, you only have 37 people watching you. How embarrassing. Where's Chris's comment? Oh, he's on Facebook. I can't tell how far back he is. Oh, you guys can listen to what he says. I had to get out of there. I can't listen to him in the background. Have to be updating Nifty. Do you have a niche Whatnot live show items on Nifty before you go live? No. So when I run this stuff, it is all random pulls. Everything that I have from Nifty is in the shop. I think I'm pointing to the right side. So if you click the shop right now, everything that you see in my shop in the buy it now is all brought in from Nifty. But I don't really run anything in there that I have listed on auction, although I'm thinking about utilizing that more. So running items that I just have listed and stuff that I don't really care about, I can just run for $1 start and move. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it. So like on the Polo Ralph Lauren show, I don't think the purple label is going to get here in time. And I don't know if my wholesale Ralph Lauren is going to get here in time. So because of that, I only will have like 75 pieces. And I feel like that's like not enough for a Saturday show. So I might just literally pull items from my store, bring them over to the auction, go in the inventory, pull them out and hold them up in the inventory bag and run them. And then if they sell, they sell. Like that's, I'm thinking about doing that, which would be cool because if I can sell like 50 items that way, it'll change the way I think about selling, to be honest. I'll probably run a lot of stuff. But also I got to factor in it took me time to list that stuff. So I'm taking time to list it to sell it for less than I could if I just had it listed. So that's like what I'm fighting with right now. Go live auctions shouldn't be in Nifty, right? No. But you can download your, after you do a show, you download your show analytics and it'll drop into Nifty as your sales. So like, yes, I just did this morning. Appreciate all the questions, by the way. I'm surprised. With this like old TikTok days, we got like 70 people in here on Whatnot. This is great. I like this. I'll have to go live on Whatnot more often. So yesterday's show has already dropped in. So if you look at my Nifty dashboard, you can see where we have Whatnot shows. Whatnot show. Whatnot show. Little show. Whatnot show. See where the big spike is, and then you can see sales day. It gives you all the data. Don't pay attention to the profit, though. The profit's off on that one, but automatically drops in. You just got to import your sales data after you do a show. It doesn't automatically do it for you. If you change it to auction, okay, yeah, I got to test that out. I've never done it before, so that'll be something new. If I sell it, I could probably talk to Nifty about that. If I bring it in as an auction and run it as an auction, there's got to be a way that they recognize that that's a sale and they pull it down from all platforms. So I'm curious why it doesn't do that. And after I do a show, I'll be able to like give them what happened and they'll probably be able to fix it. Levi's vintage for 40 bucks. Some stain and had a hole in the pocket. Do you still sell? Oh yeah, vintage Levi's with stains and flaws will still sell. Yeah, I'll have them fix it. There's got to be a way to recognize that that was a listed item that sold on auction. There's got to be a way. Got to be a way. Okay, 272 and 328. 328's on the ground. 328. There's 328. And what I say? 272. 272. 272 is down here. Okay. See this item, this bundle, we charge 11 ounces on shipping on everything. This thing weighs like 6 ounces. So when we have like stuff like this and this, it doesn't really matter what the third or fourth item is because we've already overweighed the package. No, Monkey, the reason it doesn't sell on multiple platforms is because Nifty automatically delists items. So when I sell the item from my Whatnot shop, if somebody came in here and bought an item from me in Whatnot shop right now, I think it's within 5 minutes, Nifty pulls it down from all platforms automatically. I don't have to have a computer running. It will automatically happen in the background. So I don't have to worry about double selling. It's a little perk you get with Nifty. Listed for a while, had to buy it now, ran an auction, $1. Sold for $10 more than it was listed for. I believe it. Same with aloe too. We've been selling aloe in our shop. When we run a Lululemon show, if we ever get aloe in, like if we thrift any aloe, we'll put it in the store, and I know for sure it's going to sell on Whatnot. And it always sells for less than the other aloe pieces that I have on. So I'm feeling like those pieces I'll just pull out of the buy it now before the show and run them as an auction. And those are be the ones that I set for pre-bids. So that way I don't have to do the extra listing because I really don't want to have to do any extra listing. I'll just set those up for dollar start pre-bids and then see what kind of pre-bids I get on them. Yeah. Yeah, Aloe Biore on Whatnot is like, it's like Lulu used to be on Whatnot. I see some questions in the chat. I'll get to you guys in 1 second. Let me print this label out. I got a lot of onesie orders here, so I'll be able to answer questions and ship at the same time. Easy peasy. I wish I had another gift card. I'd give you guys a gift card right now, but I don't have any additional ones, and I don't want to have to go back out. Nifty, in my opinion, is the best cross lister. I am affiliated with 3. So technically, I have 3 that I'm affiliated with, but I don't use the other 2. So Vendoo and List Perfectly. I used to use List Perfectly back in the day, and Vendoo, I'm still affiliated, but I don't have them in my link tree. But out of those 3, those are the 3 big ones. Nifty is the best in my opinion. I've used all of them. And by the way, List Perfectly, I believe List Perfectly, and Vendoo, have they? I think both of them have offered me more than Nifty currently pays me, and I said no because Nifty's better. It's easier to promote the better one than the one that's worse for more, right? How do you know if one customer orders more than one item so you ship them together? Good question. So when you run a random pull listing, you only have one listing in your store. When you're running it, you'll do a quantity of 500. Every time you run that listing, it goes number one, you sell it. Then the next one you sell will say number two. The next one you sell will say number three. And then when you come to ship your orders, you just look for 236, 266, 272, 238. So all I'm doing is walking over there, going up to those numbers and looking for those numbers. I pull all those numbers and then I put them in my packaging and I ship them out. Easy peasy. That's how it's done right there. Random pull auctions are the easiest to run. How do you authenticate Allo if there's no tags? Good question. I am not the best at authenticating Allo. Usually it's the stitching on the inside that's like a dead giveaway of a fake, or a lot of the fakes don't have like that nice Allo feel to them. You'll know after you touch so many Allo pieces like what the fakes feel like. Those are the only two ways I personally know. There is like risk if you thrift Allo. There's like if they don't have any tags on the inside, you could potentially sell a fake. You just gotta be very careful. You gotta be transparent with your customers too. If somebody bought one off me and they're like, "Hey, K-Way, this is a fake," and I'll be like, "I'm apologize. I did everything. I thought that it was real. I obviously thrifted this, or I got this in on consignment. I'll give you a full refund and I'll give you a coupon off your next purchase. I apologize." Like you're gonna after when you get so much in and you're selling so much volume, there's chances that you have fakes slip through, but we try our best to look over every single piece to make sure we sell authentic pieces. We haven't had any issues at all. Knock on wood. Where's the wood around here? Knock on wood. There's no wood, but that we haven't sold any fakes. We haven't had anybody like reach out to us and be like, "Hey, your items are fake." So yeah, just do your best. Do your best. Yeah, Allo is the most faked. I will say most of the stuff you're buying on TikTok Shop right now, if you shop on TikTok Shop, that crap is fake. Every single one of those sellers is selling fake Allo and they know it. But it's TikTok, so TikTok doesn't do anything about the sellers on TikTok, right? They don't care. Be very careful if you're buying Allo on TikTok. Whatnot's really good about their authenticity. If they have somebody complain about authenticity, if they get enough complaints, from what I understand, they ask sellers where they get their stuff and prove that it's real and all that stuff. With TikTok, they don't really care. So be very careful if you're one of those people that shop there, because there's lots of, you always know, it's like there's these two dudes that are always live and they're always just like in a random room and they have like three example pieces and they're just holding up the three example pieces and running the same ones over and over. I don't trust that at all. I don't trust it at all. I don't trust it at all. Don't do different weights on random pulls. The number starts over. I made that mistake. You can adjust during the show. So you can go in and adjust the same listings to 2 pounds. Like if you're running an 11-ounce item, you can adjust it. You just can't change the title. Once you change the title, it adjusts the actual listing. Yeah, Nifty does it all. One told me I have to authenticate it to prove it's fake, so they won't provide me a refund. I've never heard of that snag. Usually they just refund. But if you show like pictures of why you think it's inauthentic, they should just give you a refund, right? I got people that they buy items from me. They buy items from me and they say it doesn't fit and they open up a request for Whatnot and Whatnot just automatically approves them. I also have items that we run that we name the flaw. So we'll say like this has a small flaw right here. And the person will get it in and they'll open up a case and automatically get a refund because we showed them the flaw, but they didn't hear it. So they said that we sold them a flawed item. I've had that happen multiple times too. And Whatnot doesn't even look twice at it. They just send them the refund. So I'm surprised that they're actually making you say why it's not authentic. How many photos do you take for shirts or pants? Monkey, go check my listings. Shirts, I usually take like 5 to 6. Pants, it depends on the pants. If I can't fit them into one photo, like do a top and a bottom, so it adds a couple more photos to my listing. Also, if it has like embroideries or details that I want to highlight in my listing, I'll take a couple additional photos. But usually pants are somewhere around 8 to 9 photos, including measurement photos and all that stuff. Appreciate you, William. Appreciate you stopping by. You change the number tag in listing and live show. Do you change the number tag in the listing and live show? No. So every time, if you do a random pull show, you do a listing as random pull number 1, right? Random pull number 1. Do we want to test it right now? I can run something like super cheap. I'll let you guys get a deal on something really quick. and then you'll see how this works. Let's do an example listing. I'll just run something for $1. I don't care what I sell stuff for on this live. Let me create a quality listing really quick. Just do women's contemporary collections, photos. Just put this as the background. Shown on screen. Hey, someone just signed up for Nifty. Activewear, size, one size. Hold on, I got to create the listing really quick. We'll run a TJ Maxx item for $1. Some of the new tag stuff. That way some of you resellers can get some cheap inventory. And I'll set this for 5 items. That way we don't run just one. What am I going to run? We'll do 12 to 15 ounces. Try to grab some shirts or something. Not hazardous. Dollar start. Publish. Okay. So that's my listing I just created. That's my listing I just created down there. If you click on the listing, it should say, I don't know if it says quantity of 5 for you guys, but I'll show you what it looks like on the screen. Let me go into the show really quick. Shows. I'll do a polo piece. It won't be a rugby piece. I don't think I got any rugby pieces, but make sure the sound's off. Okay, sound's off. Here. So on the phone, it's going to look pretty identical to this. It's not the same, but it looks pretty identical. So you have the listing. That's the name of it. That's the description of it. It says shown on screen. That's my start price. I put quantity of 5. So I have 5 of these in there. It's new with tags. It's 12 ounces. That's what it shows on the phone too. So when I create it on the phone, it's pretty much the same thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. So as you can see, it says random pull at the bottom. What's up, Debbie? It says random pull at the bottom. Like, cancel this really quick. And it doesn't have a number next to it. But after I run this listing, when it sells, it's going to say number 1 in my solds. And then we'll run another item and you'll see that it says number 2 afterwards. So I guess we'll just run this polo shirt since I grabbed it off the top. Grab a polo. Grab the polo. Okay, so Polo Ralph Lauren. I'm not even going to remove the TJ Maxx tags. You guys have it for a deal. It's a size 3XB. Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirt, has the pony logo on the front. It's a little wrinkled because it just came out of the bag. Retail on this is $138. TJ Maxx only charged me $15 for it. You guys are going to get a crazy steal on this. And we're going to do 15-second regular auction. Get a deal on this. It's up and running. 3XB, brand new tag Polo Ralph Lauren polo shirt. And then once we sell this, you'll see that the number will change. So see how it says number 1 at the bottom? It already says number 1. So after this one sells, the next one I sell will say number 2. I'll grab one of the big and tall polo. We'll keep the big and tall theme going for a second. Goalie wants it. I'm just going to keep all the tags on it for you, Goalie, if you win it. And I'll set off to the side so I know this is yours. Okay, Goalie, appreciate you. Nice pickup. Let me bag this up real quick and write number 1 on it so I don't forget, because I'll ship yours right after the show. And let's run another one. So again, this is just a show. If you don't want to bid, that's perfectly fine. If you want to get a steal, I don't care. So that's number 1. That's number 1 for Gully. What's up, Peak? Peak. Surfs only has 30-something people in his live right now. That's embarrassing. I got more people on Whatnot than he has on his YouTube live. That guy, he needs to get more people on his YouTube channel. Nobody believes the fake smile. I think that's what it is. Yeah, everybody needs to go to Amy D's. Tag Amy D down below. Go to Amy D's really quick. Everybody go hang out with Amy D. Here, we'll do orange and orange. How about that? Orange and orange. I'm not going to take this out of the bag. This is another, it's brand new at tag, men's Polo Ralph Lauren. These are swim trunks. These are lined swim trunks. That's the size on them. That's the retail price, $95, big and tall size, perfect for resellers. I'm just going to keep it right in the bag so I do not have to take it out. That way I can ship it like this. Boom, we're up and running. So now you can see at the bottom it says number 2. So as I sell more of these, it just keeps upping the number over and over and over again. Yeah, big means wide. So anytime it says XB, That means it's a wider fit. So for example, this one has the wider leg. That's a steal, by the way. 4XB Polo Ralph Lauren orange polo swim trunks. By the way, I'm going to do this show, this Polo Ralph Lauren show. I'm going to do a big and tall show on Friday. There's no fees on Friday, by the way, for all you resellers out there. All you sellers, no fees on Friday. So set up a show, sell as much as you want. There's no fees. Oh, you can't tag her because she's live? You can't tag people when they're live? I swear you can tag people when you're live. Going to Danny. Appreciate you, Danny. Nice pickup. Okay, so as you guys saw, that says number 2. So all I'm going to do on this packaging is write number 2. And now I know that this is number 2. So when after the show is done, I will ship both of these according to who bought them. Easy. Easy peasy. You can't tag Amy D. Maybe you can't. I can't tag her. Hold on, I'll show you who she is. Where's she at? 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 Let me go back to Whatnot main screen. Hold on, we'll show you where she is. She's selling some stuff. You guys should go hang out with Amy D. She's always helping us out. Flippin' Amy D. I think I can tag her.
Okay. Let's do slide. They, you can see. Do you think they've been cut? Okay, it's running. Wait. I'm like, do you think they've been cut?
Oh, you can't. It's so stupid. Why can't you tag a seller when they're live? You literally, that's like the best time to tag them is when they're live. Whatnot, you need to change that, by the way. This is their username. You guys should go over there and hang out with Amy D. You can hang out here, but hang out with Amy D too. Their LG got her. She's over there running some stuff. Go in there and tell her that this is a K-Way raid. Go over there and say K-Way raid. Even though we're not technically raiding. We'll raid at the end. When I'm done shipping. Yeah, there's 2 underscores.
There's a celebrity in the oh, we got a winner.
Go over there. Amy D. Scroll up. Her name's in the chat. Oops.
Okay, we rated. I don't see. Maybe I do have free stuff.
Wait, hold on. I got it right.
I have free stuff. It's called I don't have any free stuff. I'm sorry. I got nothing. But I got these really nice shorts.
There we go. How can I be over there and over here at the same time? This is weird. You could be buying, you could be selling on Whatnot and buying from somebody else's show at the same time. That's the new meta right there. You could be buying, and then once you finish buying something, you could screenshot what you just bought on somebody else's show, and then you have a second phone, and then you hold up the second phone and you sell what you just bought. Infinite money glitch. You could literally make money infinitely. You can go get steals and deals on other people's shows, and then you bring them to your show before you, and then you just tell your buyers, like, look, it's going to take a little longer to it's going to take a little longer to ship this stuff, but I just got it for a steal. Don't do that, by the way. That's probably against terms of service. I'm just talking. What if I bought something from Amy D's live right now and just sold it on auction? That would be great. That would be content right there. That would make people already get mad when I sell stuff from thrift stores. Just imagine if I made a video where I literally bought something from somebody else's show and sold it on my show at the same exact time and then posted that on social media. It's like a 1 million view video, and then people are like tagging Whatnot, like, Whatnot, this guy is selling stuff before he even has it listed. He doesn't even have it in hand, because you're not technically supposed to sell stuff before you have it in hand. You can't sell stuff you don't have. So that's why you're allowed to sell stuff from the thrift store, because technically you have it. You just haven't bought it yet. You just have it. So finder's fee, exactly. That would be a new way. Surfs is smelling skirts. I'm trying to tell you guys, that guy is weird. That guy is, he's not mentally there. He's like not fully mentally there. I talk to him every single day of my life, and every day I just wonder, like, why did I ever invite him to come to my live on TikTok? Why did I tell my chat to go reach out to him? That was probably one of the biggest regrets I have in my life. It's easily the biggest regret. I see the bins. Yeah. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. There's nothing, from what I understand, there's nothing against terms of service for that. There's people that say, like, there's a gray area because you don't technically own it yet. But I mean, you have it inside of your cart. You're going to buy it. there's no reason you wouldn't buy it, especially if you sell it. Because if you cancel the order, you get in trouble. So if I have the item in my cart and I'm going to buy it, like if I'm doing a live shopping experience, it's been around forever, by the way. People go to TJ Maxx and Marshalls and do this all the time on Facebook. There's no, yeah, you shouldn't get in trouble for it, but there's people that don't do it because they feel like you can get in trouble for it. So I don't have any Rowan shirts at this time. I have Lululemon. Right now is like my men's Lululemon. I have tons of it. Unless someone doesn't bid, yeah. So if somebody doesn't bid, the best part about that, Golden, is if I'm at the thrift store and I find an item and nobody bids on it, I take the item and I put it right back on the rack, and then I keep going. So there's no loss. Like you can literally, it's like I said, infinite money glitch. You can, if you find something at thrift store for $3 and you start the bid at $5 and nobody bids, you just put it right back on the rack and you don't lose any money. I saw Park that I already got on Friday aren't here yet. So yeah, you did the drops. I'd be careful because there are people that get mad and they will report, because technically, based off the whatnot rule, I don't care if you do, I'm not going to report, but based off what whatnot rules are you can't sell anything you don't have in hand. So yeah, you can't sell anything you don't have in hand. That way you don't do any like drop shipping, because people, I think they're trying to keep people from like buying wholesale that they don't technically have yet and selling it before they technically have it. Like that's what they're trying to prevent. So just be careful. I wouldn't want to see you get in trouble over something like that, but there's lots of money to be made on drops and stuff like that too. I know people that sell them on, I used to sell them on eBay with the shoe drops back in the day when shoes were super popular in 2020, 2021. Used to do the shoe drops and sell them before I ever have them in hand, but there's risk to that too, because if like for whatever reason, if they get lost in transit, then you got to cancel the order. So just got to be careful. I know you're careful. I know you know what you're doing. If it was Surfs, I'd be really worried because that guy's too spacey. He'd forget what he bought. He would forget. His customers would be all upset. He's probably still live over there just smiling. Chat, somebody go on his live and see if he's smiling still. Tell me when he frowns. That guy never frowns. He is definitely a good teacher. He is definitely a teacher at heart, for sure. Because teachers always smile too. Even if the kid's like yelling at him in class, they just smile. That's Surfs for you. He's one of those teachers. If someone buys like 16 items and they pay for all the shipping, but it doesn't fit in one box, how do you print a second label or another box? So you have to split the shipment. Do you know how to split the shipment? You want me to show you how I split a shipment? Or how I go about splitting a shipment? Do you add thank you cards? No, we don't do any thank you cards. I also don't put the packaging label on the inside too. The what do you call it? Whatever that label is called that has all the information on it. I also never put that in my packages either. I think it's a waste. Nobody reads that stuff. Do you need more than one set of number tags? I have 2 sets of 400. So if I ever like lose some out of the first set, I have another set. Those park drops are only on money and hours. Oh, nice. Yeah. That's the way you do it. Yeah, I can show you how to split an order. So this is how you split an order right here. Like, let's say, for example, this is just going to be an example. Obviously, I'm not going to split an order with 2 items in it. But let's say I had to split this order. Let's say there was 22 items in this. I packaged up all the... Let's do the 4-item one. Let's do this one because it'll be easier to show. So 4 items in this order, $75 what they paid. That's everything that they have in their order. What I would do is I would click Unbundle Shipment. Now, let's say these 2 items fit into the box, but these 2 didn't. So what I would do is I would unbundle the 2 that don't fit, and I would keep these in there, and then I would press unbundle selected items right there. And then what it will do is it will unbundle them and put it to the top of my shipping list. So then I'll have 2 outside of one bundle, and then I'll have to go and print the next one and put that one in packaging. Just know if you do unbundle, it does cost you a label adjustment, depending on how much the buyer paid. If you adjust the weights and you adjust the weights on the other one because you overcharge the buyer, sometimes you don't have a label adjustment. But for the most part, you will have a label adjustment. Remember, you get 5 of those free per week. So if you only adjust like 3 labels on one show, you still have another 2 to do on another show. Use it for my antique shop records. Nice. No problem. No problem. Yeah, it's easy. I had to figure that out myself too. I had my first or second show, I had to unbundle shipments, and I was like, how the hell did I do this? How do I do it? But make sure when you unbundle, you weigh each package, because again, sometimes you overcharge the buyer. So when you split the shipment and you actually put in the proper weights for your items, it actually won't charge you that because you overcharge the buyer. So the second shipment won't cost you anything. Yeah, super easy to do. Most of you that do smaller shows probably will never have to do that, because if you use Ground Advantage and you use these big Ground Advantage boxes, if you have a Posh account, you can fit a bunch in here, so you don't really have to worry about that. But when you start doing bigger shows, that's when you start unbundling a lot more. 224 and 3. Hold on. 224 and 237. 224 and 237. 224, 237. All right, chat. I think we got 5 orders done this whole time. Kayla's going to be super proud of us. Kayla's going to be like, what the hell did you do out there that whole time? You were out there from 11 till 12:30 and you did 5 orders? And she's going to be pissed because she's going to be tired from working out tomorrow. And I'm just going to say, you know what we always say, chat? We blame LG or we blame Surfs. Those are the two people. We blame I say, look, LG, she was asking me 400 questions. She made me stop. These are Vuori leggings, by the way. These were super nice. These are like buttery soft. So yeah, we just blame other people. When in doubt, blame Surfs Up Finds. You bid on those? Yeah, they were super nice. The orange color is like super popular. And you sold more. Oh yeah, I sold. Yeah. Wait a second. I only shipped 5 items, but I added 2 more shipments onto what I already had. I'm literally going backwards and not forwards. She's like, what the hell? Oh, look at this. I'm grabbing another bag. I shouldn't be. Oh God. We just want. I just tell her I stopped shipping because my stomach hurt. Okay. See, you made money. I know. I made money. Oh man, that's funny. I forgot that I sold 2 more items too. I would have got done shipping tomorrow and been like, why is there 2 more items to ship? I'm like, oh yeah, there's those 2 items that sold on this live. So, yeah, I'm setting up a live for Friday too. So if you want some deals on some big and tall polo, I was gonna list that stuff. I already started listing and I actually sold a pair of big and tall polo jeans today for $50. But I have wholesale buys that I really want to attack, and I need the capital for them. So all of that big and tall polo that I have sorted over there, that is all going to be run on Friday. I think I have like 200, or not 200, 140 to 160 pieces over there. I'm just going to run them at dollar starts and get them in and out. I've already made all my money on that, so I don't really care what it sells for. No, I don't add any thank you cards. Hey, brand label. No, yeah, it would a brand label. I don't add any thank you cards to orders. The only time I add thank you cards to orders is if somebody buys a gift to chat. So if we ever do a gift to chat and somebody buys a gift to chat, let me take this off the screen, by the way. If somebody buys a gift to chat, then I will give them a gift card or give them a thank you card because I have to ship them something. So we do a thank you card for that. 216, 217. Ooh, this person bought 216, 217, 218, and 219. I love it when that happens. 216, 217, 218, 219. Oh, they bought all the Vuori shorts. The men's Vuori shorts. All these to the same customer. I don't have a P.O. box, no. I have a big dog. Because Wayne isn't thankful. Yeah, I'm not thankful. I have a big dog, so I don't have a P.O. box. Although it's smart to get a P.O. box. I'm not saying that it's not smart to get a P.O. box, but I have never had a P.O. box and I've never had any issues. I will say, if you ever try to rob me, every one of my neighbors have cameras. Literally every neighbor all the way around me has cameras. My car in the back is a Tesla. It has a camera built into it. So if you ever walk by it, it's literally going to start recording you. And I have a big dog and she doesn't like people. So I'll just set her out. But no, I don't have a no P.O. box. Although I probably should have one, but especially with being on social media and the amount of people that I comment back to, all the people that are angry that I steal from the poor. One of them is probably not a very kind person. So I probably should, but I live life on the edge. I feel like more people in the world are good than bad. That's how I live my life. More people in this world are good than bad, and a lot of people feel like everybody's bad, and I just don't feel that way. So I'd rather trust that there's a lot more good out there than there is bad. So far, it's worked. But it only takes one bad person, you know? Just takes one bad person. Like Surfs Up Finds. It only takes one Surfs out there to mess up everything. He knows how to mess up everything, let me tell you that. All right, I'm going to use a big bag for this one because this is kind of a thicker bundle. That's how we bundle everything too. I don't fold everything super nice when I'm shipping on Whatnot. I just fold it as nice as possible. Throw it into the bag, ship it out. Easy peasy. A lot of you spend a lot of time like making sure your folds are all nice and stuff. People don't care about how their stuff's folded. They just want to get it fast and efficiently, and they want it to be in the condition that they bought it in. As long as you provide that to your customer is going to be super happy with you. And you're going to get the items out super fast. How do you steal from the poor? Because I go to thrift stores, and a lot of people think that thrift stores are only for poor people. They don't understand the concept of the items that sell in thrift stores go towards the thrift store mission, which then indeed helps those who are less fortunate in most cases. Now, there are opinions on that too. But in most cases, by us going to thrift stores and buying stuff, we're actually directly helping the poor. The social media warriors are not helping the poor at all. But I get those comments all the time. Like I just got a comment today on one of my older videos, the one that's got like 1 million views on Facebook. I get comments all day on that video. Even made that video months ago, and I still get comments. Oh, so you're buying underpriced items for people in need, and you're selling them online for a huge markup. What? And they said like, what a douchebag or something like that. I'm like, you have no clue what how thrift stores even operate. People are easy to find. Yeah, exactly. And so many people have my address now that it doesn't really matter. So, but although I think next year our goal is to actually buy a second house and use this as our selling house. So we're actually going to, instead of buying a warehouse, I want to actually just operate my business out of a house. One, for investment purposes. Warehouses are much harder to sell than commercial properties are much harder to sell than like a property like this. So I can just turn this into a whole Whatnot studio, make the main room a Whatnot studio, and then have another house down the street. So even if they have this address, it doesn't matter because I live somewhere else. Does Whatnot allow you to return money to the buyer? No. So Lizette, they don't allow you to like send a refund for shipping. Although I hear there are some murmurs that they are going to start allowing sellers to refund customers, which I would actually enjoy. I would rather somebody come to me and say, hey, your item has a stain or a flaw, and me as the seller go, hey, I apologize. Here's a full refund. Keep the item, because it makes me look good as a seller, as opposed to me saying, reach out to Whatnot and see what they can do for you. Like that's what I have to do most of the time. I can offer coupons and stuff, but I'd rather just be able to hit a button and say, I apologize. Here's your full refund. Keep the item. Come back to the next show. We'll treat you better on the next show, and we'll make sure you get your right item in good condition. So, but I don't know about shipping, if they're going to allow you to redo shipping. So 1 star review for wrinkles. Damn it. No, that's Surf. Surf's just, if you watch Surf's just pack his orders on live, he literally just takes everything and shoves into a poly bag and ships it out. He doesn't fold it or anything. He just takes the whole thing, he gets a poly bag, and he just right into the poly bag, ships it out. That's Surf's right there for you. Are the Ground Advantage package from USPS free with a Ground Advantage label? You can use the Ground Advantage packaging for any Ground Advantage label as long as the weight and measurements apply to the package. So if you're using one of the big boxes, you have to weigh and measure it, make sure your weight and measurements are proper. But yeah, you can use any Ground Advantage label. I actually love those boxes and bags because I just slap my label on, especially for Whatnot, and they're good to go. Yeah, thrift stores, again, crazy price, but there's thrift stores that are good still too. And when have you ever seen a homeless person in a Lilly Pulitzer maxi dress? Yeah, never. Most people who buy from thrift stores are not looking for the brands that we sell anyway. They're not looking for Lilly Pulitzer. They're not looking for Peter Millar. They're not looking for Vuori. They're looking for a Gap shirt that fits them well, that looks nice. They really don't care about brands. I always ask those people too, like, what brand are you currently wearing right now? Because most of them will say like Nike or Adidas or something. I'll be like, I sell barely any Nike and Adidas. So every time you go to a thrift store right after me, you're going to find tons of Nike and Adidas. Oh, look, Chris is here. We in charge of customer service. Yeah, September 1st, it will go into metrics for Premiere. Nice. I I want it to happen so I can just refund people. I don't want to send any more coupons. I just want to refund people. Search customers are happy to get anything. I was telling Chris, do you see how he packs up his orders? He literally just throws them in there. It's actually embarrassing that we are actually friends with that guy. Like we are so professional, Chris, and it's just like, you know, those two nice kids in school that are super nice and they're nice to everybody and they just hang around this one goofball that's just like the class clown. Like that's Surfs in our group. We should really like consider what we should really reconsider our friends group. Especially after he's saying that he's watching WNBA games all day. Like, I don't know about that guy anymore. I'm really confused. The boxes, you can only order them if you have a Poshmark account. You can't order them on USPS.com. So you can order them if you have a Posh account already. You go into your seller settings and you can order them from there. Can you expect most of the home business expense in your state? Well, what I would do is talk to my tax pro. I'm pretty sure I can sell at that point in time. I'd have a S corp LLC. I'm pretty sure I can sell the house to myself, sell my own house to the business. Right? I think this is how it will work. I'd have to talk to a tax pro, so don't take this as tax advice. But I think I could sell the house to myself, sell the house to the business, and take that income, and then I would be able to write off the expenses year after year. I don't know. I've talked to somebody professional about this, and then buy a second house, and then I'd be able to write off the whole thing. So don't take that as tax advice though, because I suck with taxes. That's why I have a tax professional, because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to taxes. But yeah, I think there's a way to make it work to where it would make a lot of sense. And it would still technically be my house. It's underneath the LLC and all that stuff. So that's not good. I know it's not good tech. Don't take this as tax advice, Chris. Please. Chris is gonna sue me right after this live. He's gonna be like, "What the?" I'm talking about selling. I'm talking about in a couple years. Next year, the year after. We're thinking about buying a second house and running the business out of this house and having this as a business house, like running the entire business out of this instead of getting a warehouse space. So that's what they're talking about in the chat. But and then the reason I get this instead of a commercial space is because down the road, if I ever wanted to sell this, it's a lot easier to sell a house than it is a commercial space. On top of that, we're in a really good location. So if we ever wanted to take this house and make it an Airbnb or something like that, it'd be pretty easy to do that here in Florida. So yeah. But I would have to talk to somebody smarter than me before I ever made that move. What's the name of his live? Her show almost finished. Hurry in if you want to check it out. Yeah, go over to Amy's live if you're just hanging out here. I sent some people over there for her. Over to her live. Hang out with Amy D. Buy a house in the mountains. Do you even have internet there, Chris? Chris, are you on internet right now, or are you on cell service? Do you even have internet there? Is there like one like house down the street that everybody just uses that internet? Is that how that works? How does that work exactly? Does your neighbor have internet and you like, are you tapping into their line? Is that what everybody just taps into one person's line? Because only one person can get internet? How does that work, Chris? I'm confused. I don't even think he's on internet right now. I think Chris is actually, Chris, do you have internet? Starlink? Yeah. Does Chris, do you have Starlink? No, he doesn't like Tesla, so he wouldn't have Starlink. Appreciate you hanging out. Who is that? Appreciate you hanging out, Monkey. I do these every once in a while. Hang out and do a seller live and just kind of goof off, and might sell a couple things here or there while we're shipping out items. And then if you guys have any questions, anytime you see me live on one of these, you can always ask. I also go live on Facebook and YouTube, Instagram, all those too. So if you ever like tomorrow morning, I'll probably be live early. Maybe we'll see if I can get all this shipped out. I'll probably be live tomorrow morning on Facebook and YouTube, shipping out my orders from the other platforms. So if you're not following me there, give me a follow there too. You bought some Lulu shorts at Amy's live? You're so nice. You're stealing from her. That's not very, Chris, I hope you overpaid. I hope you swiped against yourself like a real man. Did you swipe against yourself? He probably has dial up too. He probably has one of those old computers that make those noises. Beep, 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 beep. Definitely. They're digging fiber in the neighborhood as we speak. Chris, don't lie to us like that. There's no fiber in your area. They wouldn't run fiber 19 miles outside of the main community. Like they wouldn't do that, Chris. It's a waste of money. Don't lie to us. I know you want to try to convince everybody you got fast internet, but we all know you don't have fast internet. See if you were on TikTok. And I was so happy when you went live. You're my listing podcast. Nice. People say I have a good podcast voice. I've always thought about doing a podcast. I actually had like a little podcast. LG, you don't know me back in the day. We had like a little pod on TikTok there for a little bit. Me and Bearded did a live together. For a while there. We did like 7 episodes or something like that. 269, 317. 269, 317. Amanda said she might have me on her podcast. I'd love to go on Amanda's podcast. 269. Is 269 down here? That's 262. That's 265. That means 269's up here. There it is, 269. We have some items we had to wrap up there in the show. That's the ones that are on the ground. 317 is definitely on the ground somewhere. There it is. 317. All 3 of those, the same one. Does Whatnot pay you for these pop-up shows? No, I don't get paid for. I'm not sponsored by Whatnot and any. I just do these for free. I do all my lives for free. Nobody sponsors me. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I would love to get sponsored by Whatnot. Hey, Whatnot, if you're listening to this, I'd love to do seller Q&A lives. You just got to pay me like, a couple thousand a show, Just throw me a couple G's. I'll come on here and make fun of surfs the whole time and help people out. But no, I don't get sponsored by this. I don't have all my giveaways. Those are all paid for by us or the people that gift the chat twos. We do a little bit of gift the chats. But I know there's some other sellers, some bigger names that I think they get like allowances. I don't know if they do this anymore. I've heard of it, but I don't know if they do it anymore. They get like allowances every month to go spend on giveaways to use in their shows. But I'm not one of those. I'm not a big timer. I'm not a big timer like Chris at Peak. Chris at Peak, he could get sponsored if he wants to. Do you plan on releasing a how to sell on Whatnot video soon? Possibly. Everybody always asks me for that video when I get time. I'll tell you guys this. I am a seller first, a social media influencer second, all the time. I will be that way forever. I will always want to sell more than I make on socials, even though I do make quite a bit on socials now. But I always want to lead by example. I don't want to be one of those sellers that get big and then I just make videos all day and that's how I make my income. I want to show you guys how to actually do it too. So when it comes to making videos, I make way more money if I fired up a Whatnot show for an hour or two instead of filming a video for an hour or two. So that's what I'd rather focus on. But eventually I'll get that video out. I think right now would be a good time. And maybe I'll find some time when the kids are back to school to make that video, especially with the new shipping, because a lot of people are worried about the shipping. So maybe soon, but I don't have these days. Surfs is sponsored by the WNBA. I think that's why he talks in our chat so much about Caitlin Clark. I honestly think that he might be sponsored by the WNBA for as much as he'll sponsor me. Ethan, let's go. Ethan's going to sponsor me. We're going to have these shows every single week. Ethan has committed to sponsoring $10,000. He's actually going to give you guys $5,000. My connection's dropping. Is my connection good? What the hell just happened? My internet go out? I was making fun of Chris and now my internet's gone out. No? Is it glitching? It was? Yeah, my internet's out. Ethan said he's going to sponsor us. Wow, that's weird. I was making fun of Chris and now my internet's out. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. My internet's gone. Come on. Let's see. You want to borrow my AOL? Yeah, I might have to. Hold on. Let me check. They might be doing a fix. No, it's still on in there. Why is it glitching? Okay, we're back. Never mind. My internet's back on. Hold on. There we go. You guys should see me now. I was making fun of Chris. I got to stop making fun of people. Every time I make fun of people, it just backfires on me. Every single time I make fun of people. Damn it. Oh, sorry, Chris. Chris, I apologize. That's God's way of saying stop making fun of that guy. Yeah, sponsorship. He's got to send it for my internet bill now. But yeah, Ethan said he's going to sponsor $10,000 every week. I get to give $5,000 away on these streams. So thanks, Ethan. I appreciate that. Any quick tips, at least to get started, minimum inventory to run? I don't think there's a minimum, but I do think you need a decent amount of inventory behind you. You don't want to do a really good show, sell 50 items, and then not have more items for your customers. If you tell people like, hey, I have more of this stuff, but it's going to be 3 weeks before I can come back on, like that's not good. So I feel like you need a good amount of inventory. You also need to bring good inventory, not just a bunch of junk that, a bunch of junk. You don't want to bring a bunch of junk. And then, but I will honestly say your first 15 to 20 shows is probably going to be really, really dull. You're probably going to be selling to less than 20 people, like in your stream. You might have 20 people that drop in randomly, and that's it. So don't get too discouraged. You got to think of it as like going to the gym and working out. When you go to the gym for the first time, you can't expect to lift weights for the first time and get huge. You got to slowly over time build it up. You got to slowly over time build up your customer base. So schedule shows same day, same time for months, for 8 weeks in a row. Do Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for 8 weeks in a row. And then on the first show and the 8th show, compare your stats and see how you're doing. But don't expect, a lot of people just expect to fire up a Whatnot show and sell 1,000 items, and if they don't do it, they give up. Don't be that person. So I need a new beard trimmer. I actually started growing this out a little bit. I used to cut this like down here, and now I'm growing it up, but I get this patch right here that I can't grow. It's very patchy. I'm very self-conscious about that, Chris, and you just brought it up to me in front of 50 people, and now all I can think about is how I can't grow hair there. So I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much for that. Of course, game. 7 sales in last show, but just imagine if you do an hour-long show and you sell 7 items in an hour-long show. Did you sell 7 items on eBay that day, or did you sell 7 items on Poshmark that day? If you sold 7 items on Whatnot and you only sold 1 item on eBay, you did better on Whatnot than you did on eBay. So don't compare. If you're saying like you did bad because you're comparing yourself to somebody that sold 300 items on their show, it's a false comparison. If you compare yourself to yourself, you're doing really good. So always compare yourself to yourself. Don't ever compare yourself to Chris at peak too, because Chris has patches on his face too. That's what he told me. There are 2 kids selling on Whatnot last night. Couldn't have been older than 12. You're supposed to be 18 or older to sell on Whatnot, I believe. So that's kind of odd that they allow. That's weird. How did they get an account? Stashes to cover the patch. I used to just trim right there so you couldn't see it, but now I don't care about it. So guess their parents were there. I have my kids hop on camera sometimes and they sell their little my daughter makes like little table ornaments and my other daughter does crochet, so sometimes they'll hop on stream and they'll sell a couple things. They haven't done that in a while, but that's the only time we let our kids on. 186 and 223. This is my last order I'm shipping out. 186, 223. 186. We're on this rack now. 223. These 2 right here. 186, 223. I think the beard looks fine. I appreciate you. I don't know what Chris is doing. He's trying to make me feel bad. Ed, I appreciate you sticking up for me. That Chris at Peak guy, he's just like Surf sometimes. He bothers me, gets me all self-conscious about myself. Can't live with him, can't live without him. How do you get free supplies and boxes? I get mine off Poshmark. So if you have a Posh account, you can order USPS Ground Advantage supplies, that brown bag that I just shipped in. You can order shoe boxes. So if you ever use the Priority Mail shoe boxes, they have a same exact box. It's over here actually. Same exact box, but it's Ground Advantage instead of Priority. And then there's a big box, the one I showed earlier. But you have to have a Posh account to be able to order those, unless you contact the post office and somehow get somebody on the phone that'll allow you to get them shipped to your door, because you can do that, but you have to tell them you ship a lot of volume. Nobody's going to be able to get that. That's in here, though. You have to ship a lot of volume to get that. But, yeah, so Posh account's like the only way for us to be able to get it. Or you just order bags like this. I get mine on Amazon. They're not free, but they're super cheap. You get these for like, I forget, these are like 7 to 10 cents or something per bag. And just get these and ship the stuff out. So yeah, Bags are cheap. I've seen a lot of people complaining about bag prices, and they're like, well, it's just an added expense. And I said this on Facebook today, and I know it probably made some people upset, but if your business can't handle an 11-cent addition to your orders, by the way, I sold 2 things in this order. What is this? Maybe 20 cents worth of clear bag and this bag that I added onto here. If your business can't afford an extra 10 cents per item, you need to reconsider what you're selling, because you're selling too cheap of stuff. If 10 cents hurts your margins that bad, you first of all, you're probably having to sell so much volume to even make a living that you should probably reconsider what you're selling. Not saying that anybody here is doing that. I just see so many complaints about it. Any traffic on the red hat golf shirt? Not yet. Not yet. I don't even know if anybody has. I know I had some views on it, but I think it was mostly from social media. The other ones I'm interested on are the Peter Millars. Let me see how many listing views I have on this. So the red hat one, I only have 38 views on, but the 2 other ones, I have 2 watchers on both of those, 79 and 82 views, and those have only been listed for a couple days. So those are going to sell. I've already sold that same Peter Millar polo with the hit on the collar. It didn't have the same hit on the chest, but that Cap Tech hit is like a pro golf. It's a tour logo hit. And I'm the only person who has ever sold one of those on eBay. There's been no other one sold. If you go look at the data, it's like I sold it in 2024. And I sold it for $100. And if I remember correctly, it sold in like 2 days. I think I have a video on it from back then too. So both of those are going to sell. I listed this one for 180 this time, and the one that's new with tags I listed for 250. Those are 2 really, really good polos. So do you only use your Posh boxes for Posh orders only? No, you can use them for Whatnot, eBay. As long as you affix a Ground Advantage label to them and you put the proper weight and measurements, you can use them for any platform. They're not specific to Posh. I very rarely use them. So I've already shipped out like 30 orders now. And you can see out of the 30 orders, I've used 2 Posh bags in 1 box. So 1 Ground Advantage box, 2 Ground Advantage bags. The rest have all been my bags that I used. So I only use those if I have to use them. Otherwise, I'll use a regular bag. And I do have big, big regular bags too. So if I ever run out of the Poshmark bags, I have big, big bags. I don't know if I can find them. They're over here somewhere. Are these them? Are these the big bags? I think they are. Yeah, these are the big bags. So if I ever run out of Ground Advantage bags, I have these bags that I can stick all my stuff in. So I don't need to use the Ground Advantage bags. It's not like if I don't have any, I'm not going to be able to ship because I have backups. Are dead no matter how many times I change the title, etc. What do I do? Make sure you're picking up the right items. Nick, make sure you're doing your research on your items before you pick them up too. Don't just pick up everything willy-nilly. You have to make sure you're checking comps. You're checking what's listed versus what's sold. If you find an item that has 5 sales and 200 listed, don't pick that item up. That means it's not going to sell. It's going to sit in your store forever before it sells. One of those are mine, probably. I shipped out a bunch earlier today, so if you got the notification, one of them is yours. How can you check the views on your items? I had my first show this week. I don't have many. No, I was talking about eBay. I wasn't talking about when I was talking about those polos that are listed. They're actually in here too. These are the 2 polos that we're talking about. Let me see. Hang on. You have this one right here that is listed for 250, and I have this one right here that's listed for 180. Those are this one that's pinned right now is a pre-owned polo, and the one that I just pinned for 250, that's new with tags. But if you look at the listing, if you just tap, don't swipe, don't buy it if you don't want to. But if you tap on it, you can see all the photos. You can see the Cap Tech hit. That's a Peter Millar Tour logo. Cap Tech hit. It has the Peter Millar Tour logo in the back. The big Peter Millar hit in the back. Has the Escalade Classic on the side. And then it has the Napa Valley hit on the front. Those are all like really, really good hits. I believe that was these 2 polos were owned by a professional golfer. So to get those polos, you have to be a professional golfer. That's why they're so expensive. Let me unpin this before somebody buys it. I don't want you to actually accidentally buy it. 10 by 19 bags for orders tonight, and they were stuffed as one unbundled 18 items. So unbundled used bags because wasn't sure about Posh boxes. Oh yeah, you can use these boxes. Yeah, you can use them. They're not, remember, these are not Poshmark boxes. These are USPS boxes. These are specific to USPS, not specific to Poshmark. There is no Poshmark branding anywhere on here. It doesn't say these are only for Poshmark. These are USPS boxes. They look identical to the Priority Mail boxes, except they say US or Ground Advantage on them because they are for the post office. Smart to source from sellers here and resell, or should I source near me? Both. If you can find sellers on here that have good deals, buy from them. I think also sourcing your own thrift stores is a really great option. Anything they said ground advantage, ground is fine. Yep. Anything, as long as you put the proper weights on your item. So if you ship something for 2 pounds, make sure it's 2 pounds on there. I'm still awake, Baldy. I'm always awake. Yeah, you can use the Posh. I've actually been ordering every time I get some delivered. I've been putting a new order in for the Poshmark bags and boxes. I think last round I bought just bags because I feel like I'm going to use a lot more bags than boxes. And I already have tons of boxes around here. I actually got to give back all the priority boxes on Monday to the postal carrier. They're not going to be happy with me, but all my flat rate boxes and all my shoe boxes, I'm going to give back to the mail carrier. I'll probably keep a pack of each just in case. Probably not. I'll probably just take like, I have an open pack there and an open pack there. I'll probably just keep the open packs and then give back the rest. I searched about $60 worth of stuff on Whatnot shows and $60 stuff from Goodwill Thursday. Let's go. Nice. It's always nice to source from the couch. Of course, when you source on Whatnot, it probably is a little bit more expensive, but you get quality stuff here. I have a restriction on Posh for ordering. Not yet, because I sell enough on Posh that I can keep ordering. If you don't sell enough and you just keep ordering, they're eventually going to cap you. I have to get up at 5. I'm out. Appreciate you being here, Ed. Yeah, once it gets delivered, you're waiting by the door for the mail lady. Yeah, I'm probably just going to drive mine off, to be honest. I don't really feel like giving them all those boxes, or maybe I'll give them like a pack or 2 a day. Too long. Not getting any hits on dating apps. What should I do? Nick, I've been married since 2014. If you want, I got a good guy you can ask. His name is Surfs Up Finds. So what you do, if somebody please tag Surfs Up Finds below. What I want you to do is I want you to head over to his channels and I want you to ask him that question, because Surfs can give you the best dating advice. There he is right there. If you could just go over there, ask him, because I've been off the market since 2014. My dating advice is going to be outdated for you, Nick. You got to go over to Surfs, and he's going to be able to help you with that. You can ask Flip the World too. Surfs is married, but Surfs can get better advice, okay? Just don't tell him that. Just send him the Surfs. Yeah. Do you happen to know the new shipping rules on Whatnot? I know I changed. Yeah, so new shipping is everything's ground advantage. People can bundle up to $7.75 for 5 pounds, but everything is pretty much going to go ground. You can still use priority, but it's going to cost your buyer more money. So just switch everything to ground advantage and charge your customers accordingly. Again, most of your shows that you guys sell in, the majority of your orders, people are not buying more than 5 pounds worth of items, so you shouldn't be using flat rate boxes anyway. You should just be using regular boxes or regular bags. If you're shipping hard goods, I understand it a little bit more, like the frustration, because you're not getting those free boxes anymore. So you're just gonna have to write it off as a cost and get some boxes. So code KY Shop. Posh sales have started again after being closed for a couple months. Nice. I just did the relist of like stale inventory or whatever they just started doing. So I got some sales this weekend on some stuff that I guess wasn't really listed, unfortunately. Should we still put max shipping $7.75? I'm not doing any max shipping. The show I did last night, we sold 362 items on that show. No max shipping. 0 max shipping. Max shipping only helps the people that buy more than 5 pounds worth of items in your show. So if currently you are selling and you only have 1 or 2 people in your show that buy more than 5 items, but you have 20 that don't, that means 10% of your customers are the people that are benefited from it. And to be honest, those people still have to buy they would have to buy like 7 or 8 pounds worth of stuff to pay the old shipping. So they're already used to paying $9.21. Now they're paying $7.75. And if they buy 7 pounds worth of stuff, they're probably right around that $9.21 anyway. So it's not really going to make anybody upset. Again, 362 items last night. Only 6 of the 114 orders were over 5 pounds. Most people who shop on Whatnot, hopefully in your shows, are natural customers that are just buying for themselves. Obviously, some of you have reseller buyer bases that buy a little bit more, But for the majority of you that are freaking out about it, not saying that anybody here is, but I've seen so many people freaking out on social media about it. Most of the people that are freaking out don't sell more than 5 pounds worth of items in their shows to many of their customers. So again, max shipping only helps the people that would have bought over 5 pounds worth of stuff. Wouldn't it be cheaper to get brown paper and covered priority boxes? You're not allowed to put a Ground Advantage label on a priority box, even if you cover it up. Priority boxes are only meant for priority labels. If the post office ever opens that box, or if you get a rip on the paper and they find out you used a priority box, they will charge you priority shipping for it, because that's you are misusing the free postal supply. So don't do that. Also, if you try to flip them inside out, the inside of the priority boxes have priority written all on the inside. The reason they do that is because if you try to ship it Ground Advantage, they can see that you used a priority box. Also, the postal carriers know what size the priority boxes are. They handle these things all day. So if you wrap them in brown paper, 99% of the time, the person carrying that package will go, "This is a priority mailbox. Let's bring this up to the front counter and let them peek inside of it really quick and charge the customer extra money." Holding $150 2 months ago. Probably been playing with them since. That's horrible. It happens though. It happens. I always tell people this when they say stuff like that. If you owned your own store, you'd have people going in your store and walking out all day long with your merchandise, and there's nothing you can do about it. They'll be stealing it. At least the business that we run, the only time they can steal it is if they buy it from us and they steal it from us, and hopefully you have a opportunity to get your money back. With secret selling stuff on Posh, just list good inventory and share your closet. How much should you be selling in order to consider getting a business? Talk to your tax professional, Nick. A tax pro will help you with that. Don't trust some dumb guy that sells you shit online. Don't trust me with your tax advice. Go to a tax pro and they'll help you with that. I have a show set up for round over 5. Buyer ended up with 5 boxes, 5 pounds each. I was able to bump up 3 pounds, 9 ounces. Lots of heavy denim. John, if you just use ground and you charge 2 pounds per item, because most of those items probably are 2 pounds, 1 to 2 pounds, and you just charge it to the customer, it doesn't matter how much they buy, they're going to pay for it, and you just slap your label on your box and ship it out. As long as you put the proper weights, you'll have no issues with that. If you do $7.75 flat rate and the person comes in and buys 30 pairs of jeans from you, and you only charge them $7.75, that's where you're going to get hit with a big old expense. So as long as you just charge the shipping to the customer, you shouldn't have any issues. So thinking about a road trip? Let's go. Let's go to their house. Do you love Nifty? I love Nifty. Everything that's listed in my shop right now was from Nifty. I'm still here in Amy D. I try to send some people over to you. Chris at Peak said he went over there and he stole a pair of Lululemon from you. You didn't miss anything. We just been here talking. Chris said he went over there. I told him, did he bid against himself? Because that's what I would have done. I told him if he's a real man, he should have bid against himself on your items. I don't know if he did, Amy D. If he gave it, if you can cancel that order if you want. He was cracking you up. He cracks me up too. He doesn't have good internet, by the way. Neither do I, apparently, because my internet went out on this live. He has horrible internet. Just ask him about his internet. Shorts for $10. He didn't even bid against himself. He just bid on those for $10. What a loser. I can't believe he just did that to you, Amy D. I would have bid those up to 15. I would have bid those up to 15. You forgot my kid's lunch. You forgot your kid's lunch. Viore shorts for $5. If you guys aren't following Amy D right now, all 50 of you should follow Amy D. She just gave away Viore shorts for $5. She just doesn't like money. She just gives it away for free. If you guys aren't following Amy D, give Amy D a follow. 3 boxes of 5 items for 15 ounces, and then 2 2-pound 5 items. Could you not have fit all of them into one, or did it automatically split them for you? Yeah, give her a follow. She just gave away Viore shorts for $5. You guys bid on my Viore shorts the other night for like 25 to 35, and she just ran them for $5. So I'm trying to tell you guys, go follow all these little sellers that just starting out, because you're going to get crazy steals. Everybody likes buying from me. I like buying from Amy D. And a new tag went for like 12. She sold new tag Viore for $12. That's crazy. Okay, split them, then you don't have to worry about it. If it splits them on their side, then you don't have to worry about it. I give steals too. Everybody, look at that. Everybody should follow everybody in here. Everybody's giving steals and deals. I need to find a seller like me. Yeah, she's nicer than me for sure. She gives out steals. If you guys were stealing that from me, I'd have ended the show hours ago. Amy D just fights through it. She's like, I'm going to get there one day. I got to give out the steals. Gotta give out the steals. Gotta give out the steals. I got Nike Golf Polo new attacks for $1 earlier. There's so many good deals to be had here. As long as you're in somebody's like a new person show, you're gonna get some steals and deals. People don't mind, and it should be okay. You should be okay giving out steals when you're building a business. Most businesses, fun fact, most businesses when they first start out, they don't make a profit for years. They start by losing money. That's how they grow. Most businesses don't make money right away. The good thing with our businesses is most of you probably make money. Even if you don't make a ton of money, you still make money right away. I ran women's denim and men's for $4 each, sold 43 items. Let's go. Let's go. Always have been lister, but I do Whatnot. Yeah, so the thing people don't understand, those of you who are here understand Whatnot. Whatnot is the quick turnover. Of course, I could list all of this stuff on other platforms and sell it for more money, but I can't sell all of that stuff in one day. It's like impossible. Even if I listed all at really good prices, they're not all selling in one day. So that's the benefit to Whatnot is you can move volume, and that's why I like having both. I have both running at the same exact time. I sold a bunch of men's tonight for deals. I know they can resell for more, but I still made a profit. Yeah, once you get to 1,000 listings or 1,000 sales, I think it still is, then you get instant payouts. So even if you're not making as much on other platforms, you could technically go thrifting, build up the community here, sell all the stuff you thrift same day, and then you make a profit, and then you could take all of that money the very next day it's already in your account, and you can go out and do it all over again. So it's like turn and burn, turn and burn. That's how you grow the business really fast. And of course, you can find stuff at the thrift store that you don't want to list on Whatnot because you know it's going to sell for more elsewhere. So you list it elsewhere, let it sell for more. But all the little stuff you can take and run here and make money on them. So that's the way you guys should be doing it. Most businesses fail within the first year. That is facts too. First 5 years, no profits is normal. I know. And a lot of people complain if they don't make money in the first like 2 months reselling like thrifted clothing. And I'm like, if you were out there in the real world building your own like storefront, like you said, first 5 years you're not making any money, and you could technically make money tomorrow doing this. You're just not going to make a ton. I love the immediate feedback of Whatnot. Yep, you get immediate feedback. You don't have to wait for the buyer to complain about their item. They can complain about it right there in the show. 200 items away. Nice. That's really close. You'll probably be there if you do enough shows, maybe next month or the month after. Do you promote? I don't do any promote. I did it. I tried it for a little bit. I don't think it's good. Because it's pay per click, not pay per sale like other platforms are. 200 sales away from 1K. Let's go. Both of you are really, really close. That's I sell resell Paradise. I make money. And people, their stores around them can source too. Yep, I like it. And you get your stuff cheap enough that it makes sense too. If you don't get your stuff super cheap, then you're just like giving it away to build it up, and that's not really the market you should be targeting. If you want to build, I guess you could target it at first, but you really want to try to target the natural customers. That's why curated shows, and LG knows this, curated shows work the best because you could set up a show a week in advance, tell everybody you have Lululemon, and all the people that love Lululemon will be there in your show. Dollar Start Lululemon show, you're going to have a lot of fans of Lululemon that just want to buy for themselves. You have to have patience. People don't have a lot of patience. That's facts. People want instant gratification. And I'm one of those people that I like to see the build. I like to see it slowly happen. With me and Kayla working out, like I like to see the body transforming slowly. I don't want to be tomorrow. I don't want to be ripped. I want to see slowly my body start changing, and then it'll feel much better when I get to the end because I'll realize how much work was put in to get to that point. So, I mean, there's a lot of drugs and stuff out there that you could take that can get you there faster, but I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to see it happen slow, just like the business. I've seen it happen slow. I've been selling since 2018. To get to this point has taken me from 2018 till now. And I'm sure in 8 years, I'll be at a completely different point in my business, and I'll recognize how much it took me to get to that point. The goal is to make money, Ethan. Yes, the goal is to make money, unfortunately. Sometimes it's harder than it is easier. You have to be okay with keeping running stuff and not getting upset. Oh yeah, key is to not get upset. I see so many sellers that they run something and it goes for less, you'll see me in my shows when something sells for $4, I'll be like, holy crap, that just sold for $4. Let's go. You just got a crazy steal. And I'll go and grab the next item, and the next item will sell for 25. It's just some items people aren't paying attention. You'll have 100 people in your room and you'll run the same item that you just ran for 25, and the next one will sell for 4. And it's just because everybody just happened to be looking away at the same time. You can't control it. So you just keep the show going, and you give out a steal and the person will come back in 2 weeks and buy more from you. So I saw you had a review that was like 3 stars. What's your thoughts on that trend? Didn't know how I got there, but I saw you had a review that had 3 stars. To be honest, Amy D, I have looked at 0 of my reviews on Whatnot. I have never actually looked at my reviews. I don't know if that's good or bad. Should I be looking at my reviews? I feel like if my prices are good and people keep showing up to my shows, then I'm obviously not doing anything wrong. I don't look at my reviews, just like I don't look at my Posh reviews. The only one I really pay attention to is eBay, because eBay, if I get a bad review, I'll see a slump in sales. But here, does anybody else ever look at their reviews? I never looked at my reviews ever. Maybe once. Maybe I've looked at 1 or 2 reviews when I first started, but I don't think I've ever looked at reviews in like the last at least year. I want to be 40 pounds lighter tomorrow. Don't we all? 40 pounds lighter, what would that put me at? Like that'd put me at 160. I'll be a skinny guy if I was 40 pounds lighter. Since the bid started at 6, she said she couldn't run it. For me, it makes me not want to buy. I want to buy something tonight, and the bid started at 6. Well, Closet, you have to understand, some people, that person probably paid $5 for the item. They can't sell it for less than 5. So that's okay for the seller. If you can't buy it, but the seller's not comfortable going less than 6, it's because they have more costs in their items. Not everything has to be dollar starts, and not all of our shows are dollar starts. Many of our shows are $10 starts. They're not dollar starts. So if you can't bid at 6, maybe there wasn't enough value in the item. If $6, if you're not bidding at $6, that means the item that they're selling is not more than has more than $6 of value. So maybe they should have dropped it. I don't know. So I can't read any of my reviews or anyone else's. You can't read anybody's reviews. Good outlook, yeah. I don't look a restaurant owner. I have PTSD, Yelp, Karens. Yeah, there's always going to be one unhappy person. And usually the unhappy person is a person that you tried to help. For example, I might get a bad review I might get a bad review next week, because literally after that show last night, even though I said at the beginning of the show, and I said a couple times during the show, and at the bottom when I'm running the listings, it says no cancellations. There was a new person that bought from us, and they asked to cancel because they said that they already had bought that specific style and they already had it in their closet and they wanted to cancel. Even though I said during that show, if you have to cancel for any reason, come inside the show and I will gladly cancel for you. During the show, they went outside the show and tried to cancel. I didn't see it. And when I ended the show, I noticed they wanted to cancel their item, and I rejected it because I said during the show, if you have to cancel for whatever reason, I will do it while I'm in the show, because it's a consignment piece. The consignor saw that item sell. They want to make their money. I don't want to have to tell the consignor I have to wait a week to run your item. Like, that's your responsibility to come into my show and let me know. And even though I canceled it, they came back and they messaged me and they said, I think you should really highly reconsider canceling my item because I already have this item. And then I just let them know, consigned piece, I can't cancel your item. I already said it during the show, like, come into my show and cancel. I have no problem canceling, but you have to do it during the show. After I've already sold the item, do it in the background, I'm not going to do it. So I'm sure maybe that person will come and leave me a bad review, but I mean, I did everything I could except for cancel their item after I said I couldn't. So yeah, you're going to have people like that. There's nothing you can do. When you want to start a hider, certain shows like the Lulu shows, I'll start at $1 because I know everything's going to sell really well. So I'll just start them at $1 and let everybody have fun. Very rarely do I get something that sells for like $2 to $5 on a Lulu show. Most things, my average sale price last night, I think, was like 18 to 20 bucks. So I'll sell them for 18 to 20 bucks all day. $12 starts, they didn't sell anything. So they went down to $1. Yeah, if people are getting frustrated, they'll drop it. But I think if you stick to $12 and you build a crowd of people that want to pay $12 for the item, I think everybody in here would rather have $12 buyers than dollar buyers any day of the week. Any advice for anyone who wants to sell on Whatnot? Be consistent, bring it inventory, schedule shows out for weeks in advance. But number one is be consistent. Why did they swipe then? I don't know, but I'm the bad guy. I always get called all the names afterwards when I don't cancel the item. This person was actually kind of nice, but I try to make it transparent as possible. Like, if you want to cancel, do it during the show. I'm one of the only sellers that will say that. Most sellers will say no cancellations, you can't cancel because this is an auction site. So yeah, now they have two in the closet, or they can sell the one that they bought and they'd still make money on it. So can't bid against myself. If I won, won't run. Why it seems weird to start lower. If I'm bidding on it, but I can't bid against myself, if they won't run it, that's why it seems weird to start lower. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see the show to see what they were selling. I got a bad review last week. It said all their pairs smell like Shein. Pairs smell like Shein and are fake. She bought one shirt and it's real. Yeah, it's crazy. And if it was fake, they would just have to open a return with whatnot, like the person earlier, and they'd get a return. I know you're selling real stuff, so it's, yeah. Somebody just wants to complain. Realized you were on. Had a question earlier today. I was wondering, what have been your best women's curated shows? Our best women's curated shows were the Lily Pulitzer show and the Lululemon shows. Those are always our best women's curated shows. We haven't really done too many women's curated shows though, but Lululemon and Lily have been our best. If I ever do like a random pool, like designer show, those usually do pretty good too, but I don't get those in very often. If you're direct to cancel, I don't think they can leave a review. I may be wrong. Okay, cool. That's good. That's good to know. I sell my items on Depop. Nice. Do you want to be on the next? I don't have any Lily right now. The problem is I don't get too much Lily in. So shut up. Why are you here? Surfs. It's embarrassing, actually. I had 80 people watching me here, and you had 37 on YouTube. We were all collectively laughing at you while you were laughing. We were all collectively laughing. Every single person in here was just they were leaving laughing emojis for like 30 minutes. Everybody was going into your live. I think I actually brought half of the people that were watching on your YouTube live. I think I brought to you from this live. That's how embarrassing. I'm just embarrassed for you. But can you tell me shipping settings? I just do ground and ground now, and I just charged 11 ounces for all that stuff. That's my shipping settings. I don't have any like specific ones. I'd rather watch you too. I even told you because you just fake smile the whole time. Can we talk about the level of rude of both of you go live during my show? Amy, I literally said on my stream that you were going live tomorrow. Okay, I can't help it that you change your times so frequently. Okay, I can't help it. I can't help it, Amy D. He was so humble on his channel. I was inspired. You were inspired by Surfs Live. Oh my gosh. Ethan, the level of glaze you are doing right now. Ethan, who have you made more money off of, me or Surfs? That's what I want to know. Who should you be glazing right now? Yeah, I'm gonna blame Kayla. Do you still need random pull shows? Kay, like last night's show, that all was random pulls. So if you're asking about like the shipping settings, you can do either fully loaded shows or random pulls. I just do ground advantage and ground advantage when I run my shows. Oh yeah, Nick, are you still here? Nick, where's Nick? Surfs, don't leave. We have somebody that has urgent. They need to contact you ASAP. They need dating advice. So I told them to go to you. I let everybody tag you. They are going to go to you and ask dating advice. So if you see a guy, DM you. Don't hit on him, by the way. He's asking you for. He's not asking to date you. He's not asking to date you. He's asking for dating advice. So if you see somebody message you, Surfs, don't get too excited. This guy is looking for help, not looking for you. So please help him if he reaches out. His name is Nick. He needs dating advice from you. I figured you were the guy. Me, I told him I've been married since 2014. I've been off the market too long. But you, Surfs, I think you can give him great advice. I can't tell what Surfs put in the chat, but he put something very, very rude. The ladies would not like what Surfs wrote. Yeah, there's Nick right there. Surfs, you want to reach out directly to him, you can reach out to him right there. All right, chat, I'm gonna head off. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'll probably do one of these lives later on this week. I do have to go, so I am going to a new thrift store on Friday, a thrift store that's opening in Orlando. Reached out to me and wants me to come stop by for like a content creator day. So my next one of these will probably be maybe Thursday night. We'll see. But yeah, give me a follow if you're not following me already. Not Savers. It's gonna be American Thrift. We don't have Savers here, unfortunately. But yeah, we have a show this Thursday and this Friday and this Saturday. So I haven't made the shows yet, but make sure you come back and bookmark Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. We're gonna be doing shows, so make sure you come out, have some fun, and get some steals and deals. And let's go send a raid really quick. Since you guys are hanging out, we'll go send somebody a big raid this late at night. Somebody else that's probably doing. Oh, she's doing Labubu. I guess this is the only person I know on right now. Let's go raid Brooke. She's doing Labubu. Go hang out with Brooke. I'll see you guys over there. Peace.